99 problems and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't covering my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 problems and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, boom, play, boom, play, play, who don't play.
Music licensing reimagined.
Play, who don't play, boom, play, boom, play, play, who don't play, boom, play, boom, play, play, who don't. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up to sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing our limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
Oh, what up? Or what is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Baku. We have Manuel El Loco Torres going against Rafael Fiziev, and we are here on a Monday. And we got a lot to cover today. A lot to cover. Not only do we got some fights to cover, we got some special announcements. We got a lot to cover, Weezy. But yeah, we are here on a Monday as always. Weezy, what is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Baku? It's an early card. We're gonna be waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning for the fight companion, which I'll take it, dude. You know, we woke up for Perth at like 4. We woke up for Michal at 4 in the morning. I'm fine with 9. I'm fine with it. It's gonna stink, but it's not gonna stink as bad as Perth. So, you looking forward to it as well?
I am, man. This is a great card. Really great matchmaking. A lot of these Central Asian and Russian fighters on this card. A lot of high-level fights on this card. So I'm looking forward to breaking it down, trying to find some ways to make some money betting on these. And yeah, it'll be fun talking about last night's card, or not last night at this point, Saturday night's card, and where the rest of the year is going for us here, because it's off to a pretty good start. I like the Paramount era so far. White House card was amazing. I hear they're doing the Roman Coliseum. Did you hear that? Or is that real?
It looked like AI. I don't know.
I hope that's real, though, because that would be badass if they did do that. But, like coming off the White House card, going to Baku, Azerbaijan for the second time, I think it's going to be a fun night of fights. And it's going to be, for us, it's going to be a fun morning of fights.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. I'm in a rare good mood. It's not often I'm in a good mood, these days. But I'm in a very good mood. We had Father's Day over the weekend. It was a phenomenal day. Got to spend time with the family. My birthday's coming up this week on Friday. Looking forward to that. I'm going to Las Vegas next week for UFC 329 for the McGregor Holloway card. That's going to be fun. And we got another partner sponsor for the show. We'll talk about it in a little bit. So, and the wagons are circling like a lot for me. Weezy is going good. 7 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago, I came on here and I did the Oregon Trail story. People were dying on this Oregon Trail. The kids were starving. And that was the card where 11 fights went to distance. I think 11 or 12 went the distance on that Vegas card, right? And since then, it's been good. Like the reads have been good. The bets have been good. The fights have played out the violence is back. So I'm in a very good mood tonight, and we have a lot to talk about. But first, we're going to talk about last week. Oh, and before that, if you guys could smash the like button for us, subscribe to the channel. We go live every Monday at 10:15 Eastern time. With that said, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take a vote. We're going to take a vote. Don't vote in the live chat. If you're watching on the replay, leave it in the comments. And if you're watching now, leave it in the comments down below. Would you guys rather have a Sunday 7:15 start time or the current time, Monday 10:15? Let us know in the comments, Sunday or Monday. Type Sunday or Monday. And we're going to add up the votes. And whatever you guys go with, we're going to go with, because we're thinking about it. We're like, yeah, I mean, we could do Sunday. Sunday we probably should be going Sunday. It's been nice having the Sunday off, but I think Sunday's probably the way to go. What do you think, Weezy?
Well, this is what we always started with. Stat Diggers was a Sunday show, and I always liked doing it right at the time that we did it, because it was that hour between like the afternoon football games and the one evening football game. And our viewers could just like TiVo or, DVR the football game, fast forward through the commercials while they're watching Stat Diggers for a couple of hours. So But there was, issues with your work and me wanting to watch more football, but if people want us to do it on Sundays and it gets us more exposure, more views, we wouldn't mind going back to Sundays.
Because a lot of people are going live Monday, and our thing was like we were like the only people going live like Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we'll go live Saturday after the fight committee. No, I'm just but yeah, so let us know down in the comments. We'll add up the tallies, and we'll do either Sunday or Monday. But yeah, last week, I'll be honest, Weezy, I didn't love the card from a betting perspective. There was not a ton of spots sticking out. So I really picked my spots very carefully. Didn't have a ton of action. I think I had like 6 units on the line last week. My biggest regret of the week was I had 1.5 units on Chokeli Shabazian under 1.5 rounds at -150. You said it was lucky. I don't
Yeah. I mean, who does that to Leon Shabazian? If you think about it, almost nobody has ever done that to Leon Shabazian. So yeah, a little bit lucky, but hey, you'll take it, right?
That's true. But so this was the first fight I taped for the week, and I wrote down, I'm like, okay, the plan is to bet the under 1.5 and Chokeli KO 1-2. That's the plan. And then they had the props out early for the fights, right? And then they had like Chokeli KO 1 was plus 300. KO 1 was plus 300. I'm like, okay, let me wait for the rest of the books to get the props out. Maybe I can get something better, Weezy, than plus 300 for KO 1, right? Wrong. KO 1 got bet down more than I've ever seen a KO prop get bet down in my life. I mean, KO 1 went from plus 300 to like a pick 'em on most books. I'm like, holy crap. KO for Chokeli went from like -130 to like -250. I'm like, holy crap. So yeah, and at that point, it's like you can't bet a KO 1 prop at a pick 'em. I guess in this case, it looked value, but you can't bet a KO 1 prop at a pick 'em, Weezy. You can't. So I ended up only having 1.5 units on the under. It was completely sweat free. I'll take it. It is what it is. I had the fight won't start round 3 in Mosquita Mullins at -125. And my read for the fight, and I said it all week, Melissa Mullins is a dumbass. She's a complete dumbass. She's an idiot. She's going to make a mistake on the mat and get submitted, and that's exactly what happened. Mullins almost knocks out Bia Mosquita, but what does she do? She goes to the ground. She doesn't get up, and she gets armbarred in that fight. So the fight won't start round 3 hits, and that was hilarious. I remember on the fight companion, Weezy, you're giving your breakdown of the fight, and then I look to my right. I see Mullins walking out, and she looks like Megan Anderson walking out. She's completely pale. She looks beat up. Her nose is bleeding, and she's making these weird faces and these weird movements with her arms. She's like this, just like she's drunk, like she's walking out like this. Like, what do you do? I'm like, what are you doing, Melissa Mullins? And then they were doing the intro, and her nose was bleeding. I'm like, why is your nose bleeding, Melissa? I mean, something's wrong with this chick. So anyway, she cashes me a fight won't start round 3. The other hit, I had the Murtaz Ali, Magomedov, Melsik Bagdasarian under 2.5 rounds, -150. I mean, sweat free. What was that? The Scottish Twister?
Scottish Twister.
That was awesome. And we were on the fight companion. We were like, please, Melsik, make it sweat. I don't want to sweat right now. Let's make it sweat free. Go to the mat and get subbed. And that's exactly what happened in a minute. And then I had the Navajo Sterling in the over 1.5 same game parlay at +120. That was not sweat free at all. I mean, Kudalaba made that a lot harder than I thought it would be. He took down Sterling. He got some very close sub attempts against Sterling. Sterling was also fighting quite dumb, engaging in the grappling with Kudalaba for some reason. And in the first round, Sterling was rocking Kudalaba, it looked like, but not really. I mean, Kudalaba was doing that thing where he was playing possum and like acting like he was rocked. And I guess all 3 judges gave Kudalaba the first round, even though he was like wobbling all around the place. And then Kudalaba was even, having a little bit of success in the second round, and then he just kind of straight up quit. I went back and watched that clip. I didn't realize how bad of a quit job that looked like. Like he just kind of sat there and got TKO'd. So the Sterling over 1.5 hits by like less than a minute. So it barely went over 1.5. And then the losses where I had 2 small shots on the Andre Lima late props. I wasn't going to bet this fight until like Borjas missed weight. So I lost 0.75 units on the Lima late props. I thought they were super live after he kicked Borjas in the dick, but Lima actually ended up losing the fight as a whole, which was wild. So ended up, I think, up like 3.5 units on a card where I didn't really have much action. So I was very happy with how last week played out. And I know he had a great night as well.
Yeah, I did, man. It was a good night. I got the ass shaving of the week right, which was Magomedov, and that was completely sweat free. The greasy four-legger hit at like plus 670 this week. I had the over 1.5 rounds in the Kudalaba fight. I had Magomedov inside the distance. I had the Cop money line. And then, I mean, you know me, Brady. I'm not usually the kind of guy to go out there and like beat my chest after I make a great fight pick or anything like that. You cash some, you don't cash some. But I mean, I got to give myself some flowers here. My fight goes to disappointment pick for the Raposo Nascimento fight was easily one of the best bets of the year, one of the best picks of the year, one of the best reads of the year. I can pick fight goes to disappointment with the best of them. I will say that right now. And that was an easy hit. That was the first leg of the greasy four-legger, was the over 2.5 rounds for that one. So I had, let's see, where are my tracked bets? Let me get them here. Because I kept it small like you did too.
You actually had a quarter unit more than me, you jackass.
Yeah, that's right. You had 6, I had 6.25. But there were some really good spots that just paid off really easily. I had 1 unit on Manel Kopp to win inside the distance at plus 170, and he was looking not very good, but my read on that fight was that Kyoji's just not taking damage well anymore, and when Manel catches him, it'll probably be over shortly thereafter, and that was exactly what happened. 1 pocket exchange, he landed clean, and it was over shortly thereafter. 1 unit on Murtazali Magomedov to win inside the distance at plus 100, cashed easily. Christian Rodriguez, scorecards equals no action, the finish only prop. You know, Emil just hadn't looked good the last 2 fights. He's in there with a stomach ulcer, you know, looking terrible against Emmers. So aging fighter, 2-fight losing streak. I felt like Christian Rodriguez, the younger fighter with the better submission game, had a much higher upside for finishes, but that one was priced at a pick'em for some reason. So played that for 1.25 units at minus 115, cashed there. The probability parlay was the Magomedov money line and the Raposo Nascimento fight goes to disappointment. That cashed for 1 unit. And the losing bets were Navajo Sterling to win by decision at plus 250 for 1 unit. And then I had 1 unit on the Andrey Fili money line at plus 250. And I thought we were going to cash that one, man. That was so close in the first round, man. He had those great body kicks.
One more body kick at the fight's over. Why did he stop? Why did he stop throwing body kicks?
He let him off the hook. He did, and he had the leg hurt too. So, but big ups to Vinicius Oliveira, man. What a performance that was! Almost gets killed in the first, and then just comes out there and puts a blistering pace on Fili there in the second round. So that was a great win for Oliveira. But yeah, that looked like a really good bet there at plus 250 in round number 1. But after round 1 was over, it didn't look like a great bet at all. So up 2.79 units, cashed the greasy four-legger. So starting to get back into a little rhythm here. I've been up 4 out of the last 6 weeks, starting to get into positive territory for the year and hopefully just keep it going, Brady. But Melissa Mullins, fight IQ, one of the worst things I've ever seen, had her knocked out on the feet and then voluntarily went to the mat with her. And then Carol Hosa's haircut, Brady.
Oh, God.
What the hell was that? I mean, we were doing the watch along. I saw the haircut and I said immediately, and this is my mistake that you guys can learn from, right? Mm-hmm. So my immediate thought was, I had picked Carol Hosa to win by decision, but I had no tracked action on the fight. So I see Carol Hosa's haircut, and I think that immediately, all right, I got to go on Tapology, and I got to change my pick to Luana Santos. Well, they don't let you change your pick after the fight start, and the fight hadn't even started yet. But, like, I should be able to change my pick when I see a haircut that bad.
So bad.
Right? And so I'm freaking out. because Tapology won't let me fix my pick, right? And I'm talking about how I'm going to write them a strongly worded letter, and I have started writing that letter, okay? But what I should have been doing, Brady, was just putting the house on Luana Santos, and I didn't do that, and I've learned from that mistake. So now when I hear Bilal Muhammad walking out to splish splash, I was taking a bath, okay? I'm not worried about changing my pick anymore. It's just going to be money on the opponent. When I see Carol Hossa walking out there looking like my 93-year-old Auntie Gladys, what the hell was that haircut, man?
So bad.
So, not only did I not be able to change my pick and I got the Carol Hossa pick wrong, I left 2 or 3 units tracked or untracked off the table now because I didn't go out there and do what a professional should have done and just slam the money line while it was still open for Luana Santos there. So hopefully you guys can learn from my mistake that I made there. But we live, we learn, we move on, Brady.
What are you going to do Saturday morning when Charles Johnson walks out with one of the dumbest fucking haircuts you've ever seen?
And if he's walking out, if he's making the walkout to splish splash, I was taking a bath, all the units on Asu Almakhan for sure.
Jeez, but yeah, I mean, the wagons are circling, Wheezy. It was a rough start to the Paramount era, but these last, 2.5 months have been pretty well. Hopefully they keep going the way they've been going because they've been going good. All right, let's shout out the 2 sponsors for the show, and then we'll get to a new sponsor after we check the comments. I'm really looking forward to it. But the first sponsor is going to be Big Steve. Big ups to Big Steve. Big Steve is also another guy that's been doing really, really well lately. He had kind of a rough start to the year. Like I think most people, Weezy, had like a rough start to the year. I mean, the fights in the first like month and a half, they were like a lot of weird shenanigans going on. But yeah, Big Steve's been hot lately. And check out the Big Brain MMA Discord. The link is in the description below. Lots of sharps, lots of different sports. They've been doing a ton of World Cup stuff, which is soccer. I actually made my first soccer bet today. Did not hit. But check them out. Big Brain Discord. They do plenty of other MMA promotions, all that good stuff. And like I said, Big Steve's been doing really well lately. And the other sponsor is going to be Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog Fantasy, use code DFSBTN, you'll get $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5 lineup. I want to say I appreciate everybody that signed up this month because I think this month, Weezy, we've had the most signups we've had since we've started with Underdog. So shout out to everybody that has signed up. If you have not signed up, sign up. If you have friends, family, sign up, please. Please. Sign up.
Sign up to Big Steve, too.
Yeah,
he's been supporting the show for a long time, and he's really stepping up for us here. And I mean, he's providing a really great service over there at his Discord as well. So
got a great Discord.
Appreciate everybody that supports us by supporting the sponsors of this show.
Yep, and if you can't, if you don't want to sign up for the Discord, at the very least, go check out Steve's YouTube. He does very early content. I think he's even going live on Sundays sometimes. I know he's over in Australia, but go check his YouTube out. Hit him with the like, hit him with the subscribe, and we appreciate you, Big Steve, for sponsoring the show. You guys can vote to see who needs to get. Oh, what was that? God,
that wasn't loud. I know it may have been loud on your end, but we barely heard it here.
Okay, it was loud on my end. Anyway, so you can vote to see who needs to get help. The options are Carol Hossa with that horrible hair. I mean, I think the haircut was worse than the performance, and the performance was very bad. Yeah. Michael Aswell, who dropped the ball as a minus 500 favorite. Andre Lima, who dropped the ball as a minus 700 favorite. And then Melissa Mullins, who's an idiot. So vote to see who needs to get the most help. We'll talk about that shortly. And then we got to go over the results of the milking and the piping. Perfect. Milk of the week. Bia Mesquita to milk. Melissa No Mess Mullins on site. It was a mess. I mean, that fight was a mess. But it was a fun mess. So, a lot happened, but Melissa Mullins, you just can't play around on the guard of Bia Mesquita and not get submitted. So the milking of the week comes through. You guys nailed it. You guys also nailed the piping of the week. Minot Cobb didn't do anything for the first 12 and a half minutes, but the very first real exchange, fight's over. I mean, this guy his power is different in the flyweight division. And Kyoji Horiguchi got piped on site. So 2 for 2. So yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. All right. We got a $4.99 dono from Tony C. Shout out Tony, saying someone get Leon Shabazi in an office job. Dude,
he's gonna call in sick like every Friday because he quit in there. You know, I mean, like this is the kind of guy you drop some work on his desk, he just walks out. I'm out of here.
It was such a bad performance. He didn't even look like a fighter. Like it was such a bad performance. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't even give him another fight. You know, sometimes some of these guys come in here, Weezy, and they do so bad that they're like, that's it. Like Braxton Smith, like who was that one bum that got knocked out by Martin Sano, I think, right? Like so, if you do that bad, you might not get another shot. I think this guy's done. I mean, that was such a bad look against Chokali.
It was just terrible. I mean, he made Chokali look like the best fighter that ever set foot in the cage. He just ran through Leon that quickly, and it was embarrassing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was the most sweat-free under in UFC. I can't think of another sweat-free under.
There's no such thing, man. I mean, if you bet that under, you made one of the best bets that you could. I mean, it's almost mathematically impossible to make a better bet than that.
I know, one of the best bets of the year.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the chat. We got Uncle Weezy, first one in the building. So we're to choose between Rosa and Mullins. What's worse, bad fight IQ or even worse, IQ in the barber's chair? Both are horrible, man.
Did you hear what Melissa Mullins yelled at her corner after she got submitted?
What?
Why didn't you tell me she knew jiu-jitsu? She didn't know, Brady. She didn't know. So, like, I mean, it went from bad to worse. You know, you just can't yell that at your corner. You're supposed to know that she's good at jiu-jitsu. It's your opponent. So I don't know, man. Rough.
And then she was crying, and Uncle Weezy was like, "Why the hell are you crying?" I was like, "Dang." Oh gosh. We got the milkman in the building. They added Rose's haircut to the Geneva Convention to prevent this from happening to anyone else after he had to watch that dreadful performance and see the haircut. I think the haircut was worse than performance, man. It was just horrible. Just terrible.
He's got international sanctions because of that haircut.
Jeez. Did you hear this? I mean, Andrey Lima's like tweeting up a storm lately on Twitter. I don't know if it's the real Andrey Lima, but he just won't stop tweeting. And apparently he's going up to bantamweight. Like that will help. Like that will. I don't know why he's going up to bantamweight, but apparently he's going up to bantamweight.
Well, he's a big flyweight. He's probably had really rough weight cuts. And I want to be really clear, Brady, that I don't blame him for that performance. I've never seen anybody run like that. The last person I ever saw run like that, besides CJ Vergara, who did it twice, is Rickson Zenedine, who fought Andrey Lima on Dana White's Contender Series, one of the worst fights I've ever seen. And I want to give Andrey Lima just a little bit of credit because I've never seen anybody run from a flyweight like these guys. Both Borjas and Zenedine ran from him. So, I mean, like, that was a really rough night at the office for Andrey Lima because that dude, I mean, he fought a perfect fight, I guess, if you're just looking at, you know, how do I beat this guy? But it was horrible to watch.
Terrible. Absolutely horrible, man. Grabbed Yakhyaev at minus 400 for literally all the money I was willing to lose. Yeah, I mean, some of these lines are weird lately. Like last week, I saw Magomedov at minus 300. I'm like, why is he only minus 300? And then like same thing with Yakhyaev, minus 400. I'm like, why is he not minus 1,000? So, and yeah, you got some CLV already. It looks like he's minus 600 now. So shout out to you for that. We got AJ in the building. What is up? 0% for Carol Hosa is crazy. I think it's like 5% now. We got official Vor in the building. We got Daz in the building as well. Thought Fizzy be a champ one day. Gaethje took his soul. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Fizzy does not look great nowadays. Over under 3 minutes late. I think we're like 4 minutes late. That was a great line there. Yeah. We got Dixon saying, Brady and Weezy, I'm starting a signed petition for all MMA bettors to sign requesting. What's that word?
Requesting, but he just left the G off of it.
Oh, okay. Requesting that Andrey Lima, Alon Nascimento, and Michael Aswell all be inducted into the Bum Hall of Fame. First ballot bums. There you go. Pipe the like button. Agreed. Wells cash Bolaños. Aswell is a fraud and always has been. I did not cash Bolaños, but I also did not have any money on Aswell. That was a fun fight. Lima likes steak. Yeah, he does. But he's right. I mean, Boras was running more than I've ever seen. More than like Andrey Pulyaev, who we'll talk about. Cut Mullins, help as well. What's up, Brady Weezy? What is up, Seamus? Finally made a Monday show. There we go. I got Horiguchi Saturday. Oh, gosh. Getting Horiguchi.
He was looking so good, man. He was looking phenomenal. He's so fast. He's so elusive, but Manel Kopp has just got that death touch.
Oh, gosh, yeah. We got Ver. What is up? Honestly, don't need the most help. Yeah, they all. That's typically the case with these polls. Like, they all need help in one way or another. Appreciate that, Seamus. Let's go, Brady. I'm going to have to see you in Vegas. Yeah, looking forward to Vegas, man. I haven't been to Vegas in a couple of years. I miss it, so this should be fun. Dylan saying Sunday. Jake saying Monday. Sunday, 100%. Monday, Saturday. That's Sunday. We got Dr. Peener. It's always good having a medical professional in the building. Sunday. I look forward to this on Mondays. Sunday. Lots of Sundays. Saturday right after the fight companion. Oh gosh. 3:48 a.m. No. Sunday, Monday. It's all the same. I watch Kill Tony and you guys on Monday. There we go. Heck yeah.
Right.
When is Dutton Ranch? Maybe we'll go live after Dutton Ranch. When's that come out?
Well, I'm trying to talk Brady into doing a Dutton Ranch watch along where we can look surprised when there are plot twists on Dutton Ranch, and we figure that'd be a great way to suck up to Paramount Plus to have them make us the official watch along for their UFC events. But we just kind of gave away our plans here, so now.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, but still, I mean, sucking up sometimes is the best policy, Brady.
Yeah, I agree.
We
got Muhammad in the building. Sunday. Have your calendars marked for July 3rd. Is Andre Fiallo? Are they letting him back in the cage?
Let's hope so.
Are they letting Andre Fiallo back in the cage
right now?
Let me know.
Because I know he got a big win in the ice fight, my friend.
Wow.
Let's see. Jordan Zebo in Aries FC. It's going to be a welterweight 5-round fight. This is going to be for the welterweight championship of Aries FC. Let's go.
I'll tune in. We should do a watch party for it.
Dude, we're doing a watch party. Our guy, friend of the show, Andrey Fiallo, he's going to beat this chump named Jordan Zebo. Get a body bag ready for this chump Zebo.
Yeah, he's going to be taking
stand up.
He's going to be taking some Z's after Fiallo gets done with him.
Dude, and this guy Zebo's got one of the biggest heads I've ever seen. Primed for a knockout.
Oh, usually those guys with big heads are tough, though,
Yeah, sometimes, dude. This guy actually kind of looks like he's been in the gym a little bit.
Is Eric Nolan really the featured? Well, last week the featured prelim was Borjas Lima, which was, the worst fight I've ever seen in my entire life. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Solar like in Monday, not Ant Gladys. Oh gosh, Ant Gladys out here catching strays. Yes, that's wild. That's wild. My man Michael Aswell might get cut now. I hope not. He's decent. He's not going to be a top 15 guy, but he's going to be in some fun fights. But yeah, losing to what's his face was not the best look at all. We got Chris in the building. What is up? Andre Lima's cooked at 135. Yeah, I don't love that. Lima didn't do anything. Yeah, he didn't. Carol Hoza cut. Shabazian cut. Raposo cut. Mullins cut. Borjas cut. Melsick cut. Hyder Emil cut. I agree with all besides Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil, give him one more shot. He's always in a fun fight. The rest, yeah, you can cut him. You can cut the rest. Can't believe I couldn't get on the White House fight. I would have folded that dude that lost to a wrestler, dude. We got Cedric in the building. What is up, Cedric?
Let's go.
How did you do last card Brady up 3.5 units, which I was very happy with because I hated the card and I didn't really have much action. Hopefully my shirt comes soon. I sent out 2 more shirts today. And I messaged you on Twitter, Mazzano. You're the last shirt I got to send out. I got to get your name for the shipping address, but I sent out 6 of 7 shirts. Hit me up with your name on X. You didn't give me a name. I need a name. Should we do a watch party? Should do a watch party with no UFC that weekend? Oh, maybe. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the Dutton Ranch. We'll do the Dutton Ranch watch party. And then we'll also do the Jordan Zebo versus Andrey Fialho watch party on Aries FC July 3rd.
Okay. That sounds like
go.
fun. All right, but we got a special announcement.
Yes.
Special announcement. We have found another sponsor / partner, and I'm really excited for this. So let me bring it up. It's gonna be fun. Let me bring it up.
Yeah, bring it up, dude. Bring it up.
There it is. So the new partner of Stat Diggers is going to be homeoffightcards.com. So I've been watching like Matty Betts pull cards from this website. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's the coolest thing ever. You open these packs, you go to homeoffightcards.com, you make an account. It took me 2 seconds. And then you go to the Home of Fight cards here, and you can either get a $60 Premier pack or a $150 Elite pack, and you get 1 card, and then you get the card, and then it's like, okay, you can either ship it to your house or you can sell it back for 90% market value. So what we're going to do each week on Stat Diggers, we're going to open up 2 cards, and we're going to decide, whether we keep it or sell it or whatever. And then in the future, we can do like giveaways, like give away the card and stuff. So we're going to try it here. I have not done this yet. I've been wanting to do it because I've been seeing like Matty Betts do it. Saw John Anik ripping cards. So we're gonna rip some cards. Weezy, you excited?
Let's go. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna flip out if it's Melissa Mullins, and it would be kind of good to get the Carol Hossa haircut card too. So let's see, what do they got for us here?
I'm excited. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna go to buy now. I'm gonna get the pack. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, are you ready to open the Home of Fight exclusive MMA pack? Who's ready?
Go.
Wish us luck. Here we go. Open now. I'm so excited. Oh, there it is. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, babe.
Oh, that's badass.
Oh, an autograph. An autograph. Oh! Who is it? Robert Whitaker.
Robert Whitaker autographed. Oh my God. Fair market value $142.98. Let's go.
Oh, geez. How do you? That's pretty sweet.
The Reaper.
Man. That's pretty sweet.
That's badass.
I think I might sell it though. I think I might sell. Let's go. No, it is not rigged. I swear. That is sweet. The first rip. I think I might sell. I already have a Whitaker autograph.
Do you really?
I do. I swear.
Oh my God. That's nice, dude. Yeah, because that's a big hit, dude. Robert Whitaker, former champion, had some of the best fights his fights against Yoel Romero were bonkers.
Yeah, it's not rigged. It's gambling. So you'll either get like an okay card, good card. Like this is a pretty good card. So what you can do is you can keep it or you can sell it. So for example, we'll sell it for $128. It's a great card, but I'll take $120. I mean, look at that. All right,
there we go.
So the funds are in the wallet. You can cash out your funds. Or you can buy more packs. So that was a great first rip. Holy crap. Holy crap. I love this. All right, let's do another one.
Yeah, let's do it.
I already have a Robert Whitaker autograph card.
That's a big win then.
I'd rather have $120.
Right.
Here we go. Come on.
Let's see it.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Give me a Conor McGregor sniffing cocaine. That's what I want. Please tell me it's McGregor.
No. No!
Macy Chason.
No! So that proves it's not rigged, guys. That proves it's not rigged. So we got the most incredible card with Robert Whittaker. And I love it. I love it. Heck yeah. We are selling this. Give me $30. I don't want what is this? A PSA 10 Macy Chason. We can't keep this card, Wheezy. We're gonna take it. Okay, so overall, Wheezy, we made 150.
Yeah, hey, we'll take it, man.
There it is.
We'll take it.
Shout out to Homo Fight Cards. That was so much fun.
That was awesome, man. We're gonna be doing that every week, so can't wait for next week. And shout out to Homo Fight Cards. Go over there and check it out, man. It's a lot of fun.
That was fun. With that Robert Whittaker card was freaking sweet, though.
I know, man. That's such a huge hit. We get the autograph. I mean, it's like, why couldn't we get Macy's autograph? I mean, that's got to be free.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh gosh, the chat's loving it. It's gonna be a fun time. I agree. I'm not keeping that card, man.
I saw the blonde hair and I was like, please let that be Charles Oliveira, and it was just no.
I ain't keeping. Yeah, sometimes you got to cut your losses. Oh gosh. Someone clip that and send that to Macy. Don't clip that, man.
Don't do that.
Very fun. We're gonna do it every single week. So look forward to. If you guys want to check it out, humblefightcards.com. It's fun stuff. All right. Let's get into some fight. I think that's enough. We got a Macy Chason card. We had to sell that as quick as possible, but now it's time to get serious, Wheezy.
That's right. We got money to make, and it's not just on the Andrey Fialho fight on July 3rd.
Yes, it's going to be the first fight of the night. Who the hell are these guys? I'm just going to kick this to you. I haven't taped this yet. I'll get to it eventually. I did my prediction video on Saturday. Didn't tape the fight yet. So I'll kick it to you. Who the hell are these guys?
Yeah, so you got Tahir Abdullayev, who is a Azerbaijani fighter, and he's got a really impressive record of 21-3. This guy has not been fighting he's been fighting in decent promotions. What you would find in Central Asia and Russia, M1, Battle of Champions, UAE Warriors, AMC Fight Nights. The losses are to Hotam Boynazarov, who's 9-0. This guy was the former UAE Warriors. What is it? I believe it's welterweight champion. Yes, welterweight champion. But he lost that belt to Boynazarov in October of 2024. And then since then, he's been on a 4-fight win streak. 3 of them first-round finishes. 1 of them second-round finish, but against a much lower level of competition in much lower-level promotions than what he was fighting in prior to becoming UAE Warriors champion. So it looks like maybe he's been kind of padding his record in 2025. Like he literally beat 3 guys August 16th, September 13th, and then October 25th. So he got 3 wins in just over 2 months against some really low-level guys with a bunch of losses on their record. The other guy, Jefferson Nascimento, is the LFA welterweight champion. He won that belt against Gabriel Costa. That was an interim championship. He defended it against a Chechen crotch sniffer in Bysanger Yakhyaev, who gassed out in that fight. And then he won against John Morante in his last fight. But he's had a bunch of fights in LFA and Shutu, so he's been fighting a pretty good level of competition on the regional scene. So these are 2 guys, usually when you see them at a fight 1 week before a fight night, it's usually 2 guys that wouldn't have even been on Contender Series. But these guys look like legit fighters to me. The one thing I noticed from Nascimento from the limited amount of tape that I was able to watch is that if you're able to put this guy on his back, he'll stay there because he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he's going to look to throw up submissions from his back. So he doesn't have the best takedown defense, and he doesn't have the best get-up game. but I need to see more of Abdullayev. He looks like a Hulk. He looks like a powerful dude. He's got some good ground and pound when he gets into top position, but I still need to watch more of his fights. So last second edition, we still don't have a line that's opened up on this fight. And I need to get a better stylistic read of what these guys really do well in the cage and how they win and lose fights. And until I do that, I don't have any clue who I'm going to be picking or betting here. And probably not betting just because it's already these guys are taking this fight on about a week's notice. So it's going to be a difficult one. A lot of variance here.
Yeah, I don't like betting these like short notice fight, like these random short notice fights. I just don't. Especially when both guys are making their debut. Like, I don't know.
It's tricky. I mean, we just had two of those last week. The Collins-Tanzalovi fight, which played out kind of close, but wound up being a 30-27. And then what was the other one? It was the Choklis for Shabasian fight,
Yeah. That one was
wasn't
close
even a fight.
Yeah. Got lucky there. Chikala got lucky there. Appreciate you, Chris. What a roller coaster ride! An autographed Whitaker card to Mason G. That was fun, man. Oh, look at this! Jason stepping in on short notice to fight Amanda Nunes. Oh gosh, that'd be horrible. It'd be terrible.
Are you? No way.
No, there's no way. There's no way. So I guess Jefferson was minus 200 on Kalshi, but then the odds flipped to minus 200 for Tahir.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, this is a Dana White's Contender Series fight if I've ever seen one. But let's get to a real fight, Weezy. And that fight is going to be Gene Matsumoto going against Bekzat Almakhan. We got Gene Matsumoto, 26 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. Bekzat Almakhan, 28 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. We got Matsumoto 2 years younger. It's going to be Bekzat with a 1-inch height advantage. Got the same reach there. And by the way, I don't think Bekzat's 28. I mean, look, this guy's not a 28-year-old man. I mean, this guy's at least 38. He looks nowhere near 28. I don't buy it. So I think he's a liar. Anyway, Gene Matsumoto is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A submission win against Dan Orguedas, decision win against Brad Katona, decision loss against Rob Font, decision win against Miles Johns, and then a decision loss against Farid Basharat. As far as Bekzat, he is 3-2 as well in his last 5 fights. Decision loss against Umar, knockout win against Brad Katona, and then a decision loss to Alexandre Taporia in his last fight. So, yeah, this is a weird a weird fight. Like, even looking at the records, like Gene Matsumoto, 17-2. You could argue like this guy should be 19-0. Like the Rob Font fight, I thought he won that fight. The Basharat fight, I had a bet on Basharat, and I don't know, like that was a super, super, super close fight. I thought Basharat was looking really good early with the striking, but Matsumoto was mixing in the takedowns. Later the fight went. It was a very close fight, both of them. So you could argue this guy's 19-0. And I was talking about this like earlier. Like I swear, Bekzat Almakhan came into the UFC, and I remember researching his fight, and he was like 18-0 or 19-0 or something crazy like that. But as the week went on, like he kept getting his wins kept disappearing. Like it was so weird. Like his wins kept going. Oh, he had 17 wins, 15 wins, 14 wins. It kept disappearing throughout the week. It was so weird. And I guess currently he's like 12-3 in his career. So yeah, in terms of how this fight plays out, this is a weird fight. So I pulled the trigger on Gene Matsumoto like Sunday morning, but I got out of the bet. The more I think about it, the more I think this is a tough fight to call. Like Gene Matsumoto, he's very hittable. Bekzat Almakhan has a lot of power. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Gene Matsumoto just arrived in Baku, I think like either today or yesterday. I don't love that. And then I don't love the fact that a lot of these Matsumoto fights have been very close. So although I got to favor Matsumoto in terms of the minute winning, I could see a scenario where it's like Matsumoto's outlanding Bekzat, 2-1, 3-1, even 4-1 in taking him down. But Bekzat lands that big shot, and that's the round, So ended up getting out of it. I'm kind of fine with passing at this point, but I just don't like the volume of Bekzat. I mean, this guy's one of the lowest volume strikers I've ever seen. But I also, at the same time, I truly think he's one of the hardest bantamweight hitters in the division, which is crazy to say. But in terms of power, like I think this guy's up there, like top 3, top 2. I mean, this guy hits like a truck for the division. So I lean Matsumoto, but I think I'm fine with just kind of staying away from this fight. I do see some paths for Bekzat, which would be, knocking out Matsumoto early or winning like a greasy split decision where, he gets outworked, but he lands some big shots. So I'm fine with staying away from this one. It's a pretty high level fight, to be honest. Wheezy, what are your thoughts on this fight here?
Yeah, when this is the second fight on the card, you're going to have a really good card because these are two good prospects for this division right now. I'm sharing my screen so we can share some stats.
It's not showing up.
It isn't?
No.
Oh, maybe, you know what? It's because I didn't share my screen with you. That's why.
Oh,
yeah, that's my dumbass thing. I just expected it to share on its own. So, oh no, wait, I didn't want to share that screen.
Oh God.
Hang on. So yeah, X that out. Hang on.
We need a producer.
That screen.
That's the next step. We got the sponsors. Now we need the producer. It's our next step.
Yeah, that really would be sweet, right? Oh my God, we could use a producer. All right, and then I'm gonna now you can share it.
All right, we're good.
All right, think. Yeah. You got it now?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so Matsumoto around 61.5% implied at -160. You can see that he's a couple years younger here, but really height, reach, pretty much the same for both guys. Matsumoto, more pro experience, more than 100 minutes of cage time, 4 more professional fights in a year and a half less as a pro. So he's been more active as a pro, and he's got a little bit more UFC experience as well as a shorter layoff and a quicker turnaround. I've got him ranked a few spots ahead of Almakhan in strength to schedule here, but the wins and everything else are lining up pretty good here. Distance striking, you look at Almakhan only landing 2.82 distance strikes per minute on only 8.45 attempts, while Matsumoto is landing 8.31 distance strikes per minute on 21.36 attempts. So obviously Matsumoto is a guy that's going to be much more likely to win the minutes. He's going to be throwing a ton of calf kicks. He fights with a lot of forward pressure, and Bekzat did not like the forward pressure of Topuria in the last fight. That one really kind of shut down his offensive volume, which was hilarious because somehow Topuria managed to do even less than Bekzat did. He was walking him down the whole fight, but he wasn't throwing anything. That's not going to be a problem with Matsumoto. He goes to the body, he kicks the calves, he switches stances, and he throws a ton of volume. But what worries me here is this 49.9 defense number and the 8.21 distance strikes absorbed per minute. That really bothers me because Bekzat's got huge power numbers, and you just don't want to be getting hit by this guy. So while the grappling really favors Matsumoto because he's going to be the guy that's much more likely to offensively wrestle, and we see that Almakhan has given up 44% control time over his 3 UFC fights. And even we saw Topuria get him down and mount him almost immediately in round 1, but then he just got a little bit sloppy going for the submission instead of trying to stay in position and be patient. So I do favor Matsumoto to win the minutes of the grappling exchanges here. Both of these guys have negative UFC ROIs, but it's Matsumoto who's done pretty well as a favorite here, going 3-1 with a 14% ROI. And you can unshare the screen now. So I'm picking Matsumoto by decision, but I think Almakhan has got some finish upside, and I even think that Matsumoto's got some finish upside too because he's got good step-in knees. He's got great calf kicks that could really shut down your leg and potentially set up a finish in another way, and a really good guillotine choke, which we could see him go to if he chooses to grapple in this fight. So I think the unders are sneaky, but they're way overpriced here. So that kind of sucks. So I feel like it's Matsumoto by decision, maybe a Matsumoto round 3 decision, but I think Almakhan by KO is going to be very live because he hits extremely hard and Matsumoto is very hittable.
Yeah, I can see this fight like I could see a Bekzat decision just by having big moments too. So I'm going to stay away from this fight. Yeah. The more I thought about it, the more I just don't like it. But yeah, I'm going to still pick Matsumoto. to win a decision, but it could be a split. And it's, Bekzat's not going to be like the hometown guy, but he's going to be like the hometown guy, if you know what I mean. So,
yeah.
And the judge is, it could get ugly. Chiazon's the rare female gasser. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a ton of them. Man, I'm still thinking about Shabazi and Chokeli. What a war. It was a war, man. Gene should be about 19-0. Got robbed his last fight. It was a very close fight. Matsumoto arguably undefeated. Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bekzat. I hate his style. I hate guys that are in the lower weight classes that are just horrible minute winners, but have, good moment winning ability. Because not a lot of guys can pull it off. Like Kopp does. We saw it, last night or the night before.
Yeah.
Davison Figueiredo is a great example of that. Davison does nothing, but he has a ton of power, right? So, and Bekzat's kind of like that. He does absolutely dick, but the dude has some of the best power in the bantamweight division.
He does.
I like Bekzat, but Matsumoto probably can get him down. I think either guy can get takedowns here. I just don't know if either guy's gonna be able to hold either guy down. Matsumoto is very hittable. Believe it or not, he's been outstruck to the head in all 5 of his UFC fights. I believe it. He's absorbed 215 strikes to the head in his last 3 fights. Well, if he absorbs 215 strikes to the head here, he's getting knocked out. Oh gosh, over 1.5 is the only one to bet this matchup, and even that sweaty. It could be sweaty, man. Matsumoto is so bad. Come on, he's not bad. I agree. Almakhan hits like a truck. Matsumoto has to be defensively sound. Yeah, he should be. Dude fights close. Bekzat plus 3.5. Yeah, Bekzat plus 3.5. I was looking at it. I think I saw it at like minus 170. Matsu's so hittable. It's hard to not like Bekzat. I got my t-shirt, Brady. Thanks. You're welcome, Freedom guys. So Freedom got it, and then I sent Wheezy's out today. So Wheezy's getting a shirt in a couple of days, and I sent another one out, and I still got to send one more out to Mazzano as soon as I get his name. Bekzat Wiggy Feet, no, no. This whole fight card is low-key fire. Agree? Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. All my homies like the stream. Appreciate that. Shabazi and Baby Deer. He did look like a baby deer out there. He did look like that. I don't think many fighters in this division would be able to do that much in front of Alexander Topuria. Yeah, I'm not sold on Topuria like many are. I mean, Topuria is extremely low volume. Word on the street is Topuria is the better Topuria. I don't agree with that at all. But yeah, people really like Alexandre. I wonder if he's going to fight soon. He hasn't fought in a very, very long time. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is going to be... Why is my computer so slow? Why is it so slow?
It happens sometimes.
It shouldn't be this slow. Anyway, we got Daniil Donchenko going against Theodor Berggren. We got Donchenko, 24 years old, 5'11" with a 71-inch reach. Berggren, 26 years old, 6 foot. Donchenko 2 years younger. Berggren with a 1-inch height advantage. Donchenko is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He knocked out Cezinando in his debut, Ultimate Fighter finale, with a nice couple elbows there. And then he took the ghost of Alex Morono to decision and ruined my bet. As far as Berggren, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, making his debut here. So I saw that they opened up the line for this fight, and Donchenko opened up minus 1,200. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, this Berggren guy must be a complete bum. And I went to watch Berggren, and I'm like, this guy isn't a complete bum. He's just a bum. He's not a complete bum.
Yeah.
When Berggren's looking really bad, he's getting taken down. I've seen him get taken down a million times. Seen him get held down. I've seen him get submitted. On the feet, he is looking to walk forward and land some offense. But yeah, there is a huge gaping hole in terms of the grappling of Berggren. He's one of these Cage Warriors guys that I don't really like. So yeah, I think it should be Donchenko here, but I don't know. I mean, these guys are probably going to stand and bang it to one man falls. I think Donchenko should win that fight, but don't really want to lay minus 500 on this guy, to be honest. And then I also don't want to lay minus 260 on his finish prop when he couldn't finish the ghost of Alex Morono, who was retiring and looked awful. So yeah, I'm staying away. There's absolutely nothing sticking out in this fight. I think Donchenko should get it done. Weird sign. I get Berggren's taking on short notice, but still weird signing to me.
Yeah, Donchenko was supposed to fight someone else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because Berggren coming off of a couple straight wins, his last one against Abdullayev, Samedov, the one before that against Battaglia and Cage Warriors. Before that, 2 losses back-to-back, Damiani and Burlinson. Burlinson beat him with wrestling and grappling. Damiani out-volumed him in the first round and then beat him with wrestling in the second and third round. And the Samedov fight, he loses rounds 1 and 2 with the wrestling, and then Samedov gasses out and winds up getting knocked out in the third. So, but the thing is that prior to the Burlinson fight right here, which you would have had Berggren sitting at 6-1 as a pro, all 6 of those wins, first round knockouts, Brady. So I kind of feel like, Berggren is going to be live early here. He's got heavy hands. He's got a really good head kick. And if you try to grapple this guy and he winds up getting into top position, he's got actually really good ground and pound that I've seen him finish fights with. He's 5-0 to the knockout as a pro, but most of these knockouts that you see him getting are ground and pound knockouts. So I feel like Berggren is going to be live early. And I think that right now people are a little bit low on Donchenko because he didn't finish Morono, but I don't think that was his fault, dude. He beat the piss out of Morono. He kicked him in the calf like 30 times. He had him out of there in the first. He dropped him in the second. He was beating him up in the third. And I mean, like, Morono was spitting blood in this dude's face at one point in the fight. It was a wild one, man. I mean, and Donchenko was minus 950 in that fight. And he was minus 210 against Cezinando, and he beat the hell out of that dude too. Finished him in round 1, opened him up huge, just like he did to Morono too. So I think Donchenko is going to win and probably finish this dude. But Berggren has never been knocked out, but he's fought a lot of crotch-sniffing wrestlers who wouldn't not be able to knock anybody out. And I think that this guy Donchenko, he hits extremely hard, and he's got a really good combination of not just power on the feet, but a lot of pressure and volume too.
Yeah, I'm not laying minus 260 on a finish for Donchenko.
Yeah, but what about laying minus 190 on the KO, Brady? At that price, you can't afford not to.
Is it really minus 190?
Yeah, I think it is, dude. It's really expensive. Let me see. I got it right here.
That's
no, it's minus 165. A veritable a bargain there.
I don't think I've ever played a KO prop at anything less or anything worse than minus 150. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you can get clipped badly. Unless it was Chokeli last week, you cashed easily at like a minus 200.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawes donated the shirt to Wheezy, so big ups to Dawes.
Thank you, Dawes,
for being in Australia. Who is the best heavyweight fighter? Josh Hokett. Josh Hokett's the best heavyweight fighter.
Josh Hokett. He's going to beat Serial Gaan in the cage, and then he's going to beat him in a game of one-on-one basketball as well. He said that today.
Oh, yeah, I heard him say that before.
Yeah.
There we go, 50 likes. Maybe we can get 120 would be awesome. Yeah, pipe it up. We appreciate that. We appreciate that, Forrest. Daniil seems bonkable. I don't know, man. Maybe. He seems like a tough dude. I think it's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah.
Donchenko and Yakhyaev parlay and forget. It's probably like minus 250 now, though. But
yeah, there's probably not much meat on that bone. That is for sure.
I think it hits
Donchenko minus 525. Yakhyaev is
probably minus 600 now, right?
Where is he? I can't even find him. Minus 550.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and they won't even let you parlay that.
Of course not. Of course not. Berggren is I agree, but I thought he was going to be like a complete bum. I was expecting like a complete bum that's getting finished in all these fights, and he's not a complete bum. He's just a bum. Donchenko fight doesn't enter round 3. Odds probably just terrible, but we'll see. Hogan versus Aspinall versus Gaan. Any combo? Yeah, good fights.
Mm-hmm.
Brunno is a dog.
Yeah.
Having Moreno getting finished is mental. Oh gosh. Why is my laptop's being so slow? I just gave the like button a 12-6. Oh, well, there we go.
There we go. Good job.
Berggren 8 and Julian a blank level bum. Nobody is. Nobody's a
Yeah.
Julian LeBlanc level bum. That guy's one of the biggest bums you ever see.
And
All right.
Jamie Siraj, another Canadian bum.
Don't even get me started. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is going to be a fun one. We got Javier Reyes going against Kaan Ofli. We got Reyes, 32 years old, 5'7" with a 73-inch reach. Kaan Ofli, 33 years old, 5'6" with a 64-inch reach. We got Reyes 1 year younger, 1-inch height advantage, and a 9-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, Ofli's got no reach, dude.
That's not good for Ofli here.
No.
Oh gosh, anyway. Ofli 3-2 in his last 5 fights. We have a knockout loss to Marian Santos, decision loss against Muhammad Naimov, submission win against Ricardo Ramos, and a decision win against Yiza. As far as Javier Reyes, he has 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Had that Contender Series win where he got a first-round knockout against Justice Torres, and then got a first-round knockout against Douglas Silva de Andrade. So I think it's going to be a really fun fight here. So I remember taping this dude, Javier Reyes, for the Contender Series, and what I noticed about him was, he's hittable. He can be a little low volume, but when this guy gets the fight down to the ground, his ground game is incredible. He has nasty jiu-jitsu. He has insane ground and pound as well. Like, if he gets you down to the mat, he's finishing you. So I was kind of looking for him to maybe grapple in his Contender Series fight, but he did not do that. What he did was he pressured forward and beat that dude's ass and broke him in the first round and knocked him out. I was like, holy crap, that's the best I've ever seen Javier Reyes look. And then he goes out there, he gets dropped by Douglas Silva de Andrade. He gets back up, and then he drops him, and then he gets on top of him, and then you kind of see that nasty ground and pound he has, and he TKO'd a very tough, very old, very tough Douglas Silva de Andrade. So, yeah, I think Javier Reyes is pretty decent. What I worry about Ofli here is I didn't even know the reach was that big. I mean, that's bad news for Ofli because I don't like this dude's chin. This dude's been hurt in every single fight in the UFC. He got sparked by Marian Santos. He did the stanky leg against Muhammad Naimov. He was basically finished multiple times in the Yiza fight. It was incredible how he didn't get finished there. He got hurt, was running away like Cedric Vergara in that second round. And Javier Reyes has a ton of power for the division. I think for Kaan Ofli to win this fight, he's probably going to have to wrestle here. And I'm not sure I can really count on him to do that. So I think it's Reyes, and I think it's Reyes hurting him and potentially knocking him out. Weezy, what do you think about this fight here?
Yeah, it should be a fun one, man. I haven't finished taping this one yet, but I got a bunch of stats ready for you guys if you share the screen here. These guys are about the same age, but Reyes is going to have a little bit of a height and a massive reach advantage. He's got a big experience advantage overall with 10 more fights in 6 months less as a pro, so he's been the much more active fighter, but it's Ofli with a little bit more UFC experience. I've got Reyes, these guys are ranked in the middle of the division in strength of schedule, but obviously, you've got not much experience for either guy, so it's not very useful. Distance striking is going to favor Reyes. He's got a lot more power. Kaan Ofli really depends on the grappling. But he hasn't done great here. He's only getting 0.38 takedowns per 15 minutes, but he is out controlling his opponents 25% to 17%. Winning about 60% of the control time positions in his fights. Javier Reyes, though, obviously got a finish in his first UFC fight against Douglas Silva de Andrade. But what worries me about Reyes is the walkout music, Brady. You don't walk out to the Village People. I don't give a shit if it's Pride Month. You don't walk out to the Village People. This is a fight, and he was just too happy about it too. He was dancing. He was singing along. And I mean, when Douglas Silva de Andrade dropped him and almost finished him, I'm like, that's what you get, dude. That's what you get. But somehow, a guy who walked out to the Village People and was fighting one of the hardest hitters in the division, a big veteran, a guy who produces an ungodly stink, he managed to get through that, Brady. He managed to fight through the adversity and finish him, even though he walked out to the Village People. So I guess we got to give him a little bit of credit. Ofli, 40% ROI over 4 UFC fights. And he's been an underdog in each one of those fights, but a lot of people obviously thought that he lost the Yiza fight. So he should probably be 1-3. And then the numbers wouldn't look as good. But that was one of those, thank the 10-point must scoring system for that one, because obviously he almost got killed in the second round, but he narrowly won the first and narrowly won the third on the judges' scorecards. Reyes has only got one fight, so that we don't really know much there in terms of ROI numbers. But yeah, man, I mean, like, he got kind of run through by Naimov and Santos, but ever since then, Ofli's cash is a plus 170 underdog and a plus 190 underdog. And you can see here he's 6-0 to the submission. He's 5-3 to the decision, but he's not really a KO guy. So he's going to be looking to win minutes and moments with his grappling. But, the career trajectory and the recency bias are headed in the right direction because of the 2-fight win streak. And he cashed as an underdog in both of those fights. So he's got a positive 32% ROI over his last 5 fights. Reyes cashes as a minus 235 favorite. He beats Justice Torres on Dana White's Contender Series. The recent loss comes to a really tough wrestler in Chris McCate, where he was a pretty big underdog in that fight. So he's getting wins and finishing guys when the market's expecting him to do that. So good career trajectory and recency bias there as well. And you can unshare the screen now. So, yeah, I mean, like, I favor Reyes just because I think he's a lot more dangerous. I mean, obviously, he's the more dangerous fighter than Kaan Ofli, who's going to require to get takedowns and top time to look his best. But he's going to be outmatched on the feet. And if Reyes can stuff the takedowns, he can be the one dictating where this fight takes place. And that's going to be a fight that Kaan Ofli is not going to have much success in.
Yeah, I think Reyes by KO. What is Reyes by KO? Is that do we have to lay chalk on that too?
Let's have a look. See, I got it on the BT tab of my spreadsheets. So Reyes KO plus 235. It's a pretty juicy number because that's about a 30% implied probability. But Reyes' implied probability to win the fight is a little over 60%. So they're saying KO is about half of his win condition.
But it could also be like a club and sub because this guy does have good jiu-jitsu too. So I don't know.
He's a finisher, Brady. 9 knockouts, 8 submissions for Javier Reyes in his career.
Yeah, if I was betting, I would just take the inside the distance at plus 130 rather than laying minus 160. But
agreed.
We got Keel in the building with the 149. Appreciate you, my guy. Good to see you in here. I will fade Ofli every time. I don't like the guy. I don't like Ofli. I think he's chinny. I don't think he's that great. So yeah, 9 inch. Yeah, 9 inches. A lot, man. Bring out the shirt. Remember? No, I'm not bringing out the shirt, man. Come on. I can smell it from here already. I feel like this fight goes over. If it goes over, that probably means Ofli was able to wrestle. If it goes under, it probably means Ofli went unconscious. Shout out to Weezy with the stats breakdown. Always very thorough. Yes, sir. Agreed. Ray is giving him an Arabian gas mask. What does that mean?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. It doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah, he is most definitely dancing. He dances every fight. Yeah, I guess what he does, Weezy. That's his thing. Apparently, this dude dances every fight.
Okay, but you can dance to just about anything than the village people. This is MMA.
That's true. That's true. Are women not allowed to fight in this country? No. The last Baku card, they had Melissa Mullins versus Daria Zelnikova. They had Irina Alekseeva versus what's her face. So they had women last card, not this card though, which is interesting. Good evening, Hot Boy. Good to see you in here. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight, and it is going to be. Oh God.
Yeah.
It is going to be Nursulton, Ruziboev going against Andrey Pulyaev. We got Ruziboev, 32 years old, 6'5" with a 76-inch reach. Pulyaev, 28 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. We got Pulyaev, 4 years younger, 1-inch height disadvantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. We got Ruziboev, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Bruno Ferreira and Cedricus Dumas. A decision loss to Joaquin Buckley. A knockout win against Eric Mechanico and a decision win against Dustin Stoltzfus. As far as Pulyaev, he has 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He beat Liam Anderson on the Contender Series. He lost to Christian Leroy Duncan in his debut by decision. He beat Nick Blue Collar Klein by second-round knockout. and then he lost to Ateba Godier by decision. So, yeah, I hate this fight. I think this fight's going to be awful, and it's because it is a Andrey Pulyaev fight. If you guys like running away, not engaging, not fighting, running for your life for 15 minutes, you're going to like this fight, but I don't like that. We saw it twice, Weezy, over the weekend. We saw Kevin Borjas run for his life.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody run more than Kevin Borjas ran away. We saw Mitch Raposo run for his life in there against Alain Nascimento, out of all people. And both those guys won, though, Weezy, which makes it interesting here because Pulaev's going to run. He's going to run. He doesn't want to be in there. He doesn't want to get hit. But he'll also throw out some BS, Weezy. He'll throw out some BS. He'll throw out some BS kicks. He'll throw up some BS punches that really don't have much on him, just kind of trying to score points, right? And Ruziboev is extremely low volume, but he does have a lot of power. I think Pulyaev is like weirdly live in this fight to just kind of run away, pick and poke, and make it awful and maybe steal a decision. Like we saw him actually outland Ateba Godier almost 2-1 in the fight, which is crazy. And of course, he lost the fight because Godier was landing the bigger shots. But, I could see Pulyaev like running away here from Nursulton for 15 minutes. I think this fight's going to be awful. I think they should cut Pulyaev. I want nothing to do with it. I think the fight goes over. I think the over is actually going to look sweat-free. But I just don't want to have any money on this fight. So, I think Pulaev's going to run away, Weezy. What do you think about this fight?
Yeah, 4 words for you, Brady. Fight goes to disappointment.
Yeah.
I really do think that this is going to be that kind of a fight because Ruziboev is not a high-volume fighter by any stretch of the imagination. If you go to the SP tab here, you can see that while Pulyaev is very low volume, offering only 7.69 distance strike attempts per minute, Ruziboev actually throws less. 6.88 distance strikes per minute. Now, Ruziboev does have 3 UFC knockdowns, so he's got some power. He's got the ability to maybe finish a fight when he lands clean, but he doesn't throw enough and land enough for you to really be worried about this guy being out there, being a murderous power puncher, because you still have to throw the punches in order for them to land, and it's not something Ruziboev is very interested in doing. He's never had good cardio, Brady, so he's never going to really be a pace guy. And he uses his length actually pretty well. He knows he's the taller guy. He waits to counter. He tries to frustrate you by not doing much till you crash that pocket. And when you do, he tries to use that length to catch you on the way in and knock you out. And if you take him down, he's going to start using those really long limbs to try to rack up submission attempts. So, I think Ruziboev has got one of those type of offensive skill sets where if his opponent isn't aggressive, you're just going to see a really low volume fight. And that's what I'm thinking here. Pulyaev is not a guy who's shown a lot of urgency, and Ruziboev's a difficult puzzle to solve. He's really tall. He's 6'5" for this division is extremely tall. And Pulyaev is listed at 6'4", but I think you're going to see that there's a little bit more of a height difference between these guys than 1 inch. So the one thing I don't like about Ruziboev is he's won 4 out of his last 5 fights. The only loss came against Buckley, and Buckley had to kind of wrestle him and get top time in order to win. But McConaughey wasn't able to wrestle him. Stoltzfus wasn't really able to wrestle him for extended stretches. So Pulyaev is probably going to have to keep this a very low volume striking match where he can maybe win a fight goes to disappointment type performance, or it goes to split like the Raposo Nascimento fight. So, yeah, I think fight goes to decision here, which is sitting at
180.
Plus
right?
180. That's a trifecta bet on my betting model, which means that it's underpriced according to all 3 statistic comparisons that I do in this model. So, and my stylistic read agrees because both guys are very offensively conservative. And so I can see this one seeing the scorecards here.
Yeah, this fight's going to stink. It's going to stink so bad.
I think it is, dude.
It's going to be awful. Oh,
hey,
God.
I like I say, I'm not the guy to pat myself on the back, but who called fight goes to disappointment? Who called that for, not so? I've got an ear. And by the way, who called fight goes to disappointment for Shabazian versus Brendan Allen? cashed a plus 180. Fight goes on that one too, my friend. And that's exactly where this one happens to be.
That was actually a good fight though. But
yes, but it still did go to decision because I knew that Brendan Allen is not a very good wrestler that wasn't going to get into the top position. So it was probably going to be, a pitter-patter striking match, which is what it wound up being.
He's not a good wrestler, and he's a complete idiot as well.
Yeah.
Brendan Allen's a complete idiot. He's some of the worst fight IQ in the game.
Well, it was a good win against Shabazian, though.
Yep. Do you think Allen has good fight IQ?
Me?
Yeah,
dude, remember when we talked about it, like, why didn't he wrestle Punahele Soriano back?
I know.
It's like he won that fight, though. He's made some bad decisions. I think he kind of willingly grappled in places with Fluffy Hernandez when he should have just pushed away. And, yeah, I don't think he has great fight IQ, but I think he's getting a lot better now that he's up at VFS.
Yeah, that fight with Shabazian made no sense. I don't know why he went so far back in the, I would say rankings, but Shabazian wasn't even ranked. So hopefully they give Allen an actual opponent this time. Awfully to shave
win fights,
Yeah, that's true. Awfully to shave the fruity ass of Reyes. Come on, man, he's not fruity. Come on.
Just the walkout was fruity the last time.
Marauder versus Marauder. Yep, both these guys are Marauders. Everyone loses in this matchup. It's such a bad fight, man. Such a bad fight. Nursulton is at least 6'8". He's a big dude. He's a big dude. We should have a vote on fight to go to disappointment fights along with milking and piping. Agreed. Yeah, maybe we can figure out something to do like during this fight besides watch it, because I don't really want to watch this fight, to be honest. We could do something else.
I'll tell a story about waiting in line at the DMV or something like that. Just something that just kind of goes along with how boring the fight is.
Or maybe I'll go to the DMV and live stream it, and then I'll put it up on the screen instead of watching the fight. Go to the DMV for 30 minutes. That'd be fun. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight, and we have a sanctioned murder. It is Abdul Yakhyaev going against Julius Walker. We got Yakhyaev, 25 years old, 6'2" with a 78-inch reach. Julius Walker, 26 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. We got Yakhyaev 1 year younger. Walker with a 2-inch height advantage and got the same reach there. Yakhyaev 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Had a knockout win on the Contender Series. Had a submission win against Rafael Cerqueira, and then a submission win against Brenson Ribeiro. As far as Julius Walker, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Made his debut against Alonzo Menefield, lost that fight by split decision. He beat Rafael Cerqueira by decision, and then he got knocked out by Dustin Jacoby. So, yeah, I went back and watched the Jacoby-Walker fight, and that was the worst stoppage of the year. I think it was Dan Miragliotta. I mean, this guy, Jacoby, knocked Walker out at least 5 times.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual hell he was waiting for. I mean, Danny Merg needs to go to prison for what he did to Julius Walker. I mean, Julius Walker took 5 lifetimes worth of damage in that fight, and that fight was like earlier this year. So I'm really worried about Julius Walker. He got rocked and wobbled by Rafael Cerqueira in the 3rd round. I mean, Cerqueira made this guy do the stanky legs. So, what I don't like about Walker in this matchup is his plan A is to grapple. His plan B is there really is none. He doesn't look comfortable on the feet at all, and that's going to be a problem here because he's not going to out-grapple Yakhyaev. He's probably going to be forced to strike, and if he's forced to strike, he's going to get knocked out brutally. So yeah, it's Yakhyaev, and I think it's probably Yakhyaev in the first couple minutes of this fight. If you're getting outstruck and hurt and looking bad on the feet against Rafael Cerqueira, I don't know if I can trust you to outstrike anybody in the UFC ever. And that's why me and you were both on Dustin Jacoby pretty big in that fight. Yeah. So yeah, Yakhyaev, and when I was taping this fight a couple of days ago, Yakhyaev was only like minus 400. I'm like, what the heck? And then now money's coming in on him. I think he's minus 550 now. I see minus 650 on some books, and that makes more sense to me. I think Yakhyaev makes it look easy. I think it's a pretty brutal matchup for Walker, bringing him all the way to Baku. And it's like why are they doing this to Julius Walker? What did Julius Walker do to them? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, I think that they think they've got something here in Yakhyaev, and they want to show him off because they know that, Julius Walker is still new to the sport. Julius Walker has only been fighting professionally for 3 years. So the striking is still a work in progress. But the good news is that this guy can grapple his ass off, and he's really athletic. So that's two things that like 80% of the division cannot do. So we're going to find out about Yakhyaev's takedown defense in this fight, because this is one of the most athletic guys that he's ever fought in his career. And we don't know much about Yakhyaev. He's got an average fight time of 4.9 minutes. He ran through Rafael Cerqueira. And I mean, Brady, who does that to Rafael Cerqueira?
Not Julius Walker.
Yeah, he didn't. He beat him, but he didn't do that to him. So that's a good win there for Yakhyaev. And then who does that to Brenson Ribeiro?
Nobody.
Other than the other 4 guys that have beaten him in the UFC, you don't see anybody doing that to Ribeiro.
Yeah.
But what's interesting here is that Yakhyaev is minus 500 versus Julius Walker, when what I think is a much tougher matchup, Dustin Jacoby, because Dustin Jacoby's got excellent takedown defense and elite kickboxing. So I feel like to make Dustin Jacoby minus 150 versus Walker, and then to make Yakhyaev minus 500 versus Walker, I don't think Yakhyaev would go out there and run through Dustin Jacoby. This is a big step up in competition in terms of Jacoby. That I'm just making a point that the money line audit doesn't really make a lot of sense here when you look at how this guy Walker's been priced. He's plus 185 versus Alonzo Menafield in his debut. Nobody even knew who he was then. He's plus 130 to Dustin Jacoby, but he's plus 400 to Yakhyaev, who has like 2 minutes of UFC cage time, and he's beaten guys that everybody else runs through as well. So Walker's going to grapple, Brady. Let's see if he finds any success with it, because it seems like the base of this guy's Yakhyaev's game was grappling to begin with. So really tough assignment, what I like to call a tough road to hoe for Julius Walker, flying all the way to Baku, Azerbaijan to fight this dude from Turkey.
Yeah, it's rough, man. I feel bad for Walker. And Jacoby was only minus 150 because people thought Walker would out-grapple him and stuff, which was silly.
Yeah, but I think that Jacoby's got more tested takedown defense than somebody like Yakhyaev, but we don't really know with Yakhyaev because there's exactly 3.4 minutes of film of this guy fighting in the UFC.
Yeah, but you got to imagine Yakhyaev's a better grappler than Jacoby. You got to imagine.
I don't know, dude. He's 25 years old. Dustin Jacoby's got over 20 fights at this level that against, some really solid grapplers. So, he won rounds 2 and 3 against Iwan Kutalaba after getting taken down 8 times in round 1. The guy can actually stuff takedowns and stuff. And he's just obviously fighting at a much higher level. Guys going out there and outboxing Khalil Roundtree for 3 rounds. So I think we're making assumptions about Yakhyaev that we cannot assume yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume him. I think the line's short. I think it's short. I think it's short. I think it's short. That's just me though.
It might be because this guy Yakhyaev has looked really, really good, but I don't know, man. I think Walker's still a good prospect. He's got, like I say, he's got grappling and he's got athleticism, and it's not something you see at this weight class. But it appears that Yakhyaev has both, in addition to much better striking. So I get why he's a big favorite here.
Yeah, he'll be a great prospect on the regional scene. He's getting cut after this fight. He'll be 1-3. They're getting rid of him, Weezy.
Yeah, but he's got a win over Cerqueira, dude. Who does that?
That should be an instant cut. He did not finish Cerqueira. That's an instant cut. Instant.
Yeah, but he almost beat Menafield. And Menafield's got a win over Umar Sy.
That's true.
Who does that to Umar Sy?
That's true. We'll sign him for another. We'll give him another 4 fights.
He's still young. He's still only 26 years old. He's still young in his career. To take this fight for your 4th fight, man, it's a big balls move by Julius.
Yeah, it's kind of a silly move, but you never know. Anything can happen. We saw Andrey Lima. lose to Kevin Borjas. Yakhyaev now minus 550. Money's coming in. I'm sure he's going to be a popular parlay piece. The under's only minus 210. I was not expecting that. Does this guy even have like 7.5 minutes total in his entire? No, he does, because he went to a 25-minute fight randomly. But other than that, it's like finishes in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, he looks like the real deal, man. And the guy was born in 2001. That's crazy.
I agree. I guess he agree. Yakhiev's a chump. Okay. All right. Jacoby wasn't a big favorite over Walker because he was a lot older than him. Yeah, Jacoby is old. I mean, he's like almost 40. But yeah, that was a great. Almost didn't cash the KO because Danny Merg would not stop the fight for some reason. Walker couldn't finish as a giant favorite a couple of fights ago. Yeah, that definitely. I definitely lost money on that. I prefer night cards. What about y'all? Yeah. I do.
Sometimes it's nice as a content creator to get it over with early in the day, and you can get a head start on next week.
Like my preferred time would be like in the afternoon, and then have like the night time.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Not too early, like afternoon. Wake up. That'd be my preferred time. Don't trust Walker's chin. No, he got rocked multiple times by Menefield. He got rocked multiple times by Cerquera. He died against Jacoby. I think he's gonna get served here. All right, moving on to the next fight. It is going to be, God help us all, Farman Hasanov going against Eric Nolan. We got Hasanov, 30 years old, 6 foot with a 74.5-inch reach. Eric Nolan, 28 years old, 6'2" with a 74-inch reach. Nolan, 2 years younger, 2-inch height advantage and a 1/2-inch reach disadvantage. Hasanov 5-0, 4-0.
I have 4-0 because I get my official fight results outside the UFC from Sherdog and not Tapology. And Sherdog has Hasanov's first pro fight listed as an exhibition.
Oh, yeah, and it's different on Tapology. So yeah, some have 4, some have 5. What does UFC have, Matt? Let's take a look.
I think they have him at 5.
Yeah, they'll probably put him
because it looks better to sign a 5-0 guy than a 4-0 guy.
They do have him at 5. I figured they would.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's undefeated. A couple knockouts and a decision in there against Luke Roberts. So yeah, I saw the odds and I saw Eric Nolan was a underdog to a guy making his debut with 5 fights. I was like, okay, let me check this guy out. I mean, this guy must be pretty good. And man, I mean, this guy, first and foremost, he's training an American top team, and he's getting Florida sun, and he's getting all of the Florida sun. I mean, this guy needs to be tested a lot. I mean, this guy can lift a freaking house, dude. This guy is jacked city, and he's kind of low volume on the feet. He has some power on the feet, but his ground and pound is some of the nastiest ground and pound I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he's getting on top of guys, and he's literally destroying them on the mat. His ground and pound is absolutely insane. And a lot of these guys and girls at American Top Team, they do have some good ground and pound, but not like this, Wheezy. I mean, this is some of the best ground and pound I've ever seen in my life. Kind of felt bad for some of these guys. I was watching these fights. I was like, oh, wow. Damn. I mean, it was bad. It was very bad. But he hasn't fought the best competition. He's very inexperienced. But yeah, he looks solid. His cardio does not look great. His output on the feet does not look great, but the wrestling looks good and the ground and pound looks good. So I thought, yeah, I mean, if Eric Nolan maybe stuffs some takedowns here, keeps it standing, maybe extends the fight, maybe Eric Nolan can be live here. But then I was watching Eric Nolan. It's like this dude's getting taken down all the time. His takedown defense stinks, and it's like his cardio is really bad. Like Eric Nolan's cardio is probably just as bad as Hasanov's. Like Eric Nolan, his volume drops off a cliff after the first round. He doesn't do much as the fight extends. He's getting tired. So I think this fight's going to be a mess. I think both these guys are going to get tired. Hasanov's making his debut. Nolan didn't even have a corner. Nolan was on Twitter the other day begging for somebody to corner him in the fight. He's like, does anybody want to corner me in Baku? The flight's paid for. The hotel's paid for. We need somebody to corner me. So, I mean, I feel like this is going to be a mess, Wheezy. Hasanov, if he gets on top, he's probably going to potentially be able to finish here. But I have a feeling Nolan's going to be tough enough to survive. I have a feeling it's going to get to the second round. And I have a feeling when it gets to the second round, it's just going to get sloppy. It's going to get gross. And I feel like it could actually maybe go over. I mean, this guy, Hasanov, went over and went to decision with Luke Roberts, who's like a jiu-jitsu guy. So, yeah, my pick is Hasanov by decision, but I'd be shocked if I laid anyone on this fight. I'm looking forward to their debut. I think Hasanov could be, interesting, with the right opponent. I mean, this guy could get some wins in the UFC for sure. I mean, this guy's takedowns and ground and pound are legit. But here I'm fine with kind of passing, sitting back, taking notes, and kind of seeing how this guy's debut shakes out. How about you, Izzy?
Yeah, I agree because I'm not sold on Nolan either. You look at some of these guys that he's beating on the regional scene, and they're not great names. The Blaine Richards, he got a win, but he lost to Blaine Richards a couple of years before that. He got a win over Trevor Goody. And this dude's a freak with he's like 6'5" and he's got a head the size of an Easter Island statue. I mean, you could be in a cage blindfolded with this guy swinging overhand right, and there's a 90% chance that you're not only hitting him, you're knocking him out because the dude's head was just that big. So Nolan's wins just leave a lot to be desired. Here you can see on his resume is Ariane Tavares. Ariane Tavares lost to Leon Shabazian. He lost to Leon Shabazian. Didn't beat the guy that got finished by 2 calf kicks. He lost to Leon Shabazian. So this guy Nolan's wins are pretty low level. He's got 4 losses as a professional and only 8 wins. He's been knocked out twice. He's been submitted twice and he's been decisioned twice. So this is a guy who is kind of a moment-winning striker. Even Nolan, I just don't see a lot of volume from him. He can land big shots on the feet, but I've just seen him get outworked at distance striking range as well by okay fighters. So I feel like Hasanov, who's got a lot of forward pressure, the threat of the wrestling on the feet, and like Brady said, the guy's getting the South Florida sun. He's got a physique on him, and the guy looks like he could squat a bus. So, I mean, I think that Hasanov is going to have almost as much danger factor on the feet as Nolan does. But with Hasanov, you've got a lot of grappling upside, wrestling upside, ground and pound and damage upside when this fight hits the ground. Because from what I've seen from Nolan on the ground, he's extremely sloppy, easy to take down, easy to hold down. And when he gets takedowns, he can't hold you down, and he'll go submission over submission and get easily reversed. So, yeah, it's a pretty sloppy fight. And I'm really wary of saying I'm confident that I like Hasanov here, because I am confident that I think he wins this fight, Brady. But he's 4-0.
Oh,
This guy Lewis that he beat had a 3-1 record when he fought him. That guy is now 3-4. And then I looked at this Fazilov guy, who is an undefeated guy from Uzbekistan, who's got some kind of grappling background. I looked at that guy's record on Tapology, completely fraudulent.
Oh,
He beat nobody with a pulse. So this guy came in and he had all kinds of hype. And they're like 6-0 Uzbekistani guy, Central Asian Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion, like couple armbar wins, like a good grappler. But he was half the size of Hasanov. And Hasanov threw him around like nothing. The guy had nothing for him. It was a one-sided fight. It was even easier than the 2 fights before that one, which were against lower-level competition on paper. So, I mean, this is a complete stay away from me. But even the fight doesn't go to decision is probably going to be minus 800 for this thing.
probably not. I mean, the under, believe it or not, they set it at 2.5, which I was shocked at. Like, you would think they put it at 1.5, but the under 2.5 is only minus 175. Seems like a big trap. Big trap.
Yeah, minus 175. I think that hits. That's overpriced, but not crazy overpriced. Usually when we see a crazy overpriced under, it'll be like 30 to 35% below what the long-term division trend is. And here it's just 17% more. So it's expensive, but it's not prohibitively expensive.
Yeah. If I didn't see that fight with Hasanov and Luke Roberts, I would have already bet that under. But I did not like what I saw from that. He like gassed out and low volume, and
just to make a point about that though, Brady, he had taken a year and a half off between that fight and his last fight. There was a long layoff there, and then there was even another long layoff between that fight and the next fight. So this guy has not been active. He only has 4 professional fights. He fought twice in 2025, but he only fought once in 2024 and then 0 times in 2023 and only once in 2022. So this guy is just inexperienced, inactive, and there's just a lot of missing information on him.
Yeah, it's a sketchy fight. It's a sketchy fight.
No doubt about it.
My laptop's being very sketchy right now.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, and I think it might be this card.
It could be this card. It could be this card. The Shaz a very good predictor on who's the chump. Yeah, usually Barry McCockiner comes in here, and we should do a Barry McCockiner chump of the week.
Chump of the week, yeah.
Can we talk about Ferreira being in a co-main in 2026? Yeah, it's disgusting, man.
Yeah.
Pharmacy Hasanov. Oh. UFC NFL guys Sunday. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna count those votes up. Maybe we'll go to Sunday. Get the fellows to 100 likes. That'd be nice, man. Ground and pound, that like button. Yeah, just like Hasanov does that ground and pound. That's some nasty ground and pound. He tries to destroy you, man. All right, let's move on to the next fight. And it is going to be... What's wrong with my computer, man? What's wrong with my laptop, man? There we go. All right, we have Abus Magomedov going against Michal Oleksiejczuk. We got Abus Magomedov, 35 years old, 6'2" with a 78-inch reach. We got Michal Oleksiejczuk, 31 years old, 6 foot with a 74-inch reach. We got Michal, 4 years younger. Abus with a 2-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Magomedov is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Caio Bahaio. Decision win against Warley Alves. Submission win against Bruno Ferreira. Decision win against Michel Pereira. And then a submission loss to Joe Pyfer. As far as Michal Oleksiejczuk, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Submission loss to Kevin Holland. Decision loss to Shar Magomedov. Knockout win against Cedricus Dumas. Knockout win against Jeremy Mearshart. And then a decision win against Marc-Andre Barrios. So, yeah, it's a really weird fight here because I'm a big fan of Michal Oleksiejczuk. He's probably one of my favorite fighters. I love his style, the way he comes forward, the way he pressures, lands volume, big shots. He did lose me some money against, MAB in his last fight, not knocking him out. But, typically he's going out there looking to knock guys out. Abus Magomedov is a guy that I've really always been looking to fade. But here in this matchup, it's weird because, Michal Oleksiejczuk has a big hole in his game, and that's the grappling. He's been submitted, I think, 6 times, 5 in the UFC, I know for sure. But he hasn't really had that grappling tested lately. And I was going back and watching Abus's fights, and it's like he's shown some good wrestling. He out-wrestled Warley Alves over the course of 15 minutes. He took down Sean Strickland in round 1, got to his back. He even out-grappled Pyfer a little bit in the first round, took him down, was on top of him. So, yeah, Magomedov does have some grappling in his back pocket, and I think he'd be wise to do that here. And if he does that here, I think Michal could be in trouble. But as this fight goes on, you got to favor Michal. Michal has the better cardio. Magomedov has a lot of quit in him. He's not. He has horrible cardio as well. So I kind of think Magomedov could potentially have some success early with the grappling, potentially even get a sub, a sneaky spot. Or I thought would be sneaky this week would be Abu sub, but it's the worst priced sub prop I've seen in my entire life. It actually opened up at plus. Let's see. This sub prop opened up I think at plus 250, and it was so bad, but it actually got bet down, Wheezy. People were it was such a bad number. People were still betting it, and the sub prop is currently plus 200. Why? I mean, the books are so sharp, man. I mean, they're so sharp, it's crazy. So I thought I'd be maybe sprinkling a sub prop. I'm not sprinkling it at plus 200, that's for sure. This is a fight I'll probably stay away and watch. I thought maybe some violence, but the violence is juiced. And nothing really sticking out here. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen here. So we got Magomedov a slight favorite, minus 140. But it's Michal, who's 4.5 years younger, but it's Magomedov who's got the size advantages, being 2 inches taller with a 4-inch reach advantage. So Michal's the younger guy, the southpaw. Abus is the taller and longer guy. You got both guys with a ton of fights, 32 for Oleksiejczuk, 35 for Magomedov, but it's Oleksiejczuk who's been the more active fighter and who's got a lot more UFC experience with 18 fights compared to 7 and about 25, 35, 40, 50 more minutes or so of cage time. And a quicker turnaround here at about 4 months compared to 8 months for Abus. Abus ranked similarly to Oleksiejczuk in strength to schedule here, as I have Abus ranked 28th with 7 fights and Oleksiejczuk ranked 25th with 18 fights. And these guys' wins are ranked similarly. Distance strikes per minute, obviously Oleksiejczuk's going to be the guy pushing the heavier pace. He's also the guy that has more power. So I guess the question I'm going to ask myself is this going to be the pre-fighting nerds version of Oleksiejczuk, the guy that just pressures forward relentlessly and looks to break you? Because I think if he takes that approach against Abus, he's going to have a ton of success. Because Abus is going to have a difficult time wrestling if he's put on his back foot. And Abus has never had the kind of conditioning that he could stand up to the kind of pace and pressure and body shots that Oleksiejczuk is going to bring when he's doing his best work at distance striking range. The question is can we see Abus Magomedov use these 4.42 takedown attempts per minute that he averages to find takedowns, to find some top time, to win some control time positions, and to slow down Oleksiejczuk and hope that he makes a mistake on the mat that you can kind of take advantage of and potentially finish the fight with a submission. When we look at the ROI of both guys, they're both negative. 12% for Oleksiejczuk, 8% for Magomedov, but both of these guys are performing well when they're priced as favorites. Right? The market knows how to bet these guys, Brady. 10-1. When Oleksiejczuk is priced as a favorite, this guy is 10-1 with a 35% ROI. That's really impressive. That's how you really kind of get the attention of the betting markets. They're laying juice on you, and you are paying them off. And it's the same thing with Magomedov, as he's 3-0 here with a 42% ROI over the fights that he's been priced as a favorite. Where these guys stink is when the market thinks they're going to stink. 1-3 priced as an underdog for Magomedov. 0-6 priced as an underdog for Oleksiejczuk here. So, with Magomedov being priced as a slight favorite here, the market has historically been very good when they've priced either one of these guys as a favorite. Magomedov, short-term recency bias, not great because he fought 7 months ago and lost. So we've got a decent layoff and a submission loss there. So, momentum and career trajectory, because he had won the 3 fights prior to that, even though the Ferreira fight was terrible. I got him listed as neutral here. And he's about even over his last 5 fights when you look at how he's produced according to the betting lines. Michal Oleksiejczuk, though, he brings a 3-fight win streak into this fight. He's knocking out Cedricus Dumas and Gerald Meerschaert, and nobody does that to Cedricus Dumas and Gerald Meerschaert. But then he went 15 minutes with Barrio, which, Barrio's chin was cooked at that point, something that Shar Magomedov also did as well. So, Oleksiejczuk maybe starting to slow down a little bit. Like maybe he's not getting those KOs against Meerschaert and Dumas if he's fighting guys that still have a pulse, like those guys don't right now. So, but Oleksiejczuk trending up at this point, while I'd say that Magomedov, the older fighter, is kind of plateaued or is maybe starting to just edge down just a little bit. So I like the momentum that we're getting on this Oleksiejczuk side. Although the ROI is negative 17% over the last 5 fights because of the losses to Holland and because of the big expensive price tags when he did win. So you can unshare the screen. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think Oleksiejczuk if he's ready to push a pace for the full 15 minutes, and if he's ready to get out on that front foot and make Abus back up, trust his chin, trust his durability, trust his takedown defense. I think if he does that, he's decided plus money here, because I really favor Oleksiejczuk's durability. I favor his conditioning, and I favor his striking, Brady. Both these guys are really good strikers, but one guy has shown power at the UFC level and the other one hasn't. One guy has shown consistent volume and pressure at the UFC volume. The other one hasn't. So how much can we trust Abus Magomedov to go out there and wrestle hard for 3 rounds when he hasn't been that active lately, and when he's never really shown the kind of gas tank to let us be confident that he's going to push that kind of a pace for an extended stretch?
Yeah, I'm shocked at this line. I'm shocked. Like, I taped this fight a couple of days ago. I thought for sure Abus would be the dog, because you mentioned it, momentum. One of these guys has momentum. One of these guys looks like a bum in most of his fights, right? So yeah. I was shocked to see Oleksiejczuk's the dog, and then you look at Topology, 65% of people are picking him. So yeah, I thought it was being sneaky, and it's like Magomedov's the favorite. Like, come on, man. Come on. So yeah, I'm not laying chalk on Abus Magomedov. Like, I'm looking to fade this guy, but I think people are just forgetting that Oleksiejczuk's ground game is the worst. And maybe he's made improvement. Like, it can't get any worse. So maybe training at the fighters, he's better, but I don't know. I mean, it's like so bad. So yeah, I'm probably staying away. The sub prop for Magomedov stinks. The violence numbers stinks. I was thinking we'd get a good number on like an under 1.5. It's only plus 116. Like, why? Why? You
know, and that's a number that my model likes actually quite a bit.
Likes the under 1.5 at plus 116. Wow.
Dude, because it's an Oleksiejczuk fight. This guy's got 18 fights in the UFC, and 11 of them have finished under 1.5 rounds. So that's a really big number. 24 fights combined for these guys. 54% of those fights have finished under 1.5 rounds, and we're paying 46% at plus 116 on the line. So my model likes it based on past performances, but Oleksiejczuk is very durable, and I don't know if Magomedov has crazy power at this level. The question is, do we get that, I'm double parked and I have a plane to catch Michael Oleksiejczuk this time? And I don't think we didn't really get that in that version of him in the Barrio fight. And sure even though we got the first round knockouts against Mearshart and Dumas, like, who's not knocking those guys out in round 1 right now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the under was at plus 174.
Yeah. No, that would have been even more. That would have been a lot better.
I saw it there. I saw it there, and I was up. I saw it there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for maybe a fight won't start round 3, right? And then it goes from plus 174 to plus 116. It's like, whatever.
Yeah. That's
whatever.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Fight doesn't go minus 400. Brutal. Everything's brutal on this fight. So yeah, it's clearly one of the most violent fights on the card, but they're making you pay. Biz picks up on the main card, violence ahead. Yeah, I think it's a violent fight. Come on, chat. Let's run a train on the like button. Run it up, man. Run it up. Polish power, second or third round KO. I could definitely see that. I think it's going to play out one of two ways: either a boost early sub, or he's going to gas out and get broken like he breaks all the time. Abus going to gas. Michal's going to survive the first round. Yeah, he's got to survive probably 5 to 6 minutes or so. Try to get a finish in the next 2. I could see it. Martin like in Sunday. 40 legs to go. There we go. Poland, stand up.
Let's go.
Stand the F up. I created an algebra to find the most overrated bums in the UFC. I call it the Abus metric. Yeah, he's super overrated, dude. Super. That's why I'm surprised he's the favorite. I think this line's going to flip, though. I think it's going to flip. It's coming down a lot. Michal's down to plus 110. Abus is at minus 130. Moving on to the next fight. This is a fight I'm really struggling with here. It's going to be the Ikram Aliskerov fight. Did I skip? Where's that? There it is. There it is. Ikram Aliskerov going against Bruno Ferreira. We got Aliskerov, 33 years old, 6 foot with a 76-inch reach. Ferreira, 33 years old, 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. We got same age there. Is going to be Aliskerov with a 2-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Aliskerov 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Phil Hawes. Nobody does that. Knockout win against Worley Alves. Nobody does that. A knockout loss to Robert Whittaker. A knockout win against Andre Beniz. And then a decision win against Jung Young Park. As far as Bruno Ferreira, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Got submitted by... That's a mistake, right? Weezy got submitted by Abus Magomedov. Oh, Weezy's not even here. Oh gosh. Anyway, he got submitted by Abus Magomedov. He beat Armen Petrosyan by submission. He beat Jax McVeigh by submission, and then he beat Marvin Vettori by decision, and then he lost to Gregory Rodriguez by knockout. So yeah, I don't know what to do here. Agreed. Stand up. I could see this fight playing out so many different ways. I could see an Aliskerov first round knockout. We've seen Ferreira get knocked out by Nursulton Ruziboev in the first round. We saw him get knocked out by Rodriguez in the first round. I could see a Ferreira first round knockout. We saw Ikram Aliskerov get knocked out by Robert Whittaker in like the first couple minutes. I could see an Ikram Aliskerov submission. We saw Gasbag Abus Magomedov submit Bruno Ferreira in the third round. We could see an Ikram sub. He has a couple of them. I can see an Ikram decision taking down Ferreira, exploiting that takedown defense, that horrible cardio. I think both guys have bad cardio, but I think Aliskerov's cardio is slightly better. I think Aliskerov has some grappling upside here. I just don't know how this fight's going to play out. Are these guys going to stand and swing dicks? If these guys stand and swing dicks, Bruno Ferreira is extremely live. But if Ikram Aliskerov kind of fights like he did in the Park fight or the Dennis Tuoluen fight or some of these other fights outside the UFC and wrestles, I think that's kind of where he's going to look this price tag, because Bruno Ferreira, takedown defense bad, get up game bad, cardio bad. The Abus fight was just a very bad look. So I got to go Aliskerov here. I think he can really win by any method, knockout, decision, or submission. But if he comes out there and swings and stands and bangs with Ferreira's extremely live here. I'm staying away. I mean, the price tag on Ikram is just disgustingly brutal. I mean, you can't lay minus 300 on this guy, especially here against a guy like Ferreira. But I think he has the tools, and with the right path, he could look minus 300. I think the total's tough. It's set at a pick'em. I think a pick'em makes sense, because if these guys stand and bang, this fight's ending in the first couple minutes. If Ikram grapples, this fight's going over. And another thing I don't like about the under is Ferreira's been looking extremely patient these last couple fights, and some of these fights are getting extended. Petrosyan went over. Vettori went over. And obviously Rodriguez knocked him out. So, yeah, it's a stay away from me, Weezy. I can see this fight playing out 50 different ways. And when that's the case, I like staying away from the fight. Going to sit back and hopefully enjoy some violence here.
Yeah, and I faded Ikram Aliskerov last time out. Jun Young Park was like a plus 180 underdog. And I felt good betting him. I just felt like if he could just hang out for 7.5 minutes and not get finished, Ikram was going to get really tired. Jun Young was going to get on the front foot and just put it on him and maybe find a finish late in the fight. But Aliskerov just kept getting the takedowns. But God, did he look awful doing it. I mean, he looked like he was dying 1,000 deaths in there. He was exhausted laying on top of Jun Young Park. And I mean, if Jun Young Park, had any kind of defensive wrestling or get up game at all, I think he probably would have found a way to get his hand raised in that fight. And it's got me thinking that Bruno Ferreira might be the side here. I mean, you're getting a guy at plus 235 who's got ridiculous KO power. And Ikram Aliskerov does not have 15 minutes of wrestling in him. He just doesn't. We saw it in the Nishan Burrell fight, before he got to the UFC. And then we've seen him go out there and win impressively. But when you go back and you look, it's Phil Hawes, it's Worley Alves, and it's Andre Muniz. What do those three guys have in common, Brady? They all stink. They all stink. They got no chins. They're all washed up. They're done. Bruno Ferreira is still a pretty young guy. He's the exact age as Ikram Aliskerov. Ikram's going to be taller and longer. He's the southpaw, so he's got all the measurables advantages here. But these guys are similar in terms of overall experience. I mean, Ikram, I don't know what this guy's problem is, but this guy's been a professional fighter for 14 years. And he only has 19 fights, so I don't know what he's waiting for. Ferreira it has got more experience over a shorter period of time. I mean, in terms of one less fight, but more fights at the UFC level. These guys are fighting a pretty solid level of competition, but Ikram definitely fighting the better level of competition overall. But when you look at it, he lost to the only guy with a pulse that he fought. So Bruno Ferreira's got a pulse. He's got a wins over some decent level guys here in this organization. When it comes to striking, Aliskerov is putting up much bigger numbers, but that's over a 19-minute sample size. That's mostly first-round knockouts. Bruno Ferreira hits extremely hard, so I think that both of these guys are live to knock the other one out. What we worry about, though, is the 60% takedown defense of Ferreira, the fact that he allows more control time than he gets, even though he attempts more takedowns than his opponents do. So Ikram Aliskerov is going to have a massive offensive and defensive wrestling advantage that's going to allow him to dictate the pace and the location of this fight, which is very important. And that's why he's listed as a favorite here, as he should be. Aliskerov, 9% ROI, but Bruno Ferreira, 34% ROI, outperforming market expectations, not only when he's priced as a favorite, but also when he's priced as an underdog. And Aliskerov, though, 4-0 is a favorite, average betting line almost 75% implied with a 36% ROI. So solid numbers for Aliskerov. The only fight that he's lost is against Robert Whittaker. Aliskerov bringing a 2-fight win streak into this fight, got 2 wins in the calendar year 2025, and is on about a 7 or 8 month layoff coming into this fight. Trending up and slightly positive are the career trajectory and the recency bias for Ikram, who's undefeated to the submission and the decision as a professional, but he has been knocked out twice as a pro. So you do worry a little bit about the chin, and we know that Bruno Ferreira's got KO power. Ikram, 9% ROI over his last 5 fights, 0.46 net profit here, and he lost as a pick'em and then cashed every fight as a favorite. Ferreira coming off a loss against Gregory Rodriguez, but that fight was only about 3 months ago, so he's making a much quicker turnaround, and he fought 3 times in 2025 compared to only twice for Aliskerov. So while Ferreira is coming off of a loss here and Aliskerov is coming off of 2 wins, it's actually Ferreira who's won 3 out of his last 4 fights, so that's the same as Aliskerov. And some decent names there in Marvin Vettori, Armen Petrosian. Those are pretty good wins. The Jackson McVeigh one was a last-minute replacement. He was supposed to fight somebody better. So I do think that Ferreira's kind of live here, because we know that there are weaknesses in Aliskerov's game. If the fight goes past the first round and this guy's not out there getting takedowns, he's useless. So we're going to find out, man. If Ferreira can show a little bit of cardio for once, maybe stuff a couple of takedowns, I think he's going to look a lot better than what the money line says he's going to look like in this fight, Brady.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like he's coming back way too soon. I didn't realize how quick he's coming back. I mean, he's got brutally knocked out. That's not good.
Why are people saying I didn't pay the internet bill? Were you guys not even seeing my slides there?
No, you left while I was doing
Oh, okay, yeah, no. I paid the internet. I had to go to the toilet and get some.
And I was talking. I didn't realize you left. I was talking to you. I didn't realize you left though. But yeah, I don't like the quick turnaround. He just got brutally knocked out. I don't like the takedown defense, the get up game, the cardio. But with that said, though, I think a sprinkle on his KO, because I would bet the KO prop, not his money line, because that's how he's winning. Ikram's lost both of his fights by knockout. I don't think Ferreira's subbing him. I don't think Ferreira's winning a decision. I would take the KO prop, which is plus 500. I don't mind that. That's what I would do if I bet him. And it would probably be better on books tomorrow as well. So maybe like plus 600 on a Ferreira KO. I don't hate it.
That's a big, juicy number for a guy that's been knocked out twice and for a guy who has 60% of his professional wins by KO and Bruno Ferreira. I like it.
Yeah, I might sprinkle that, actually, because although I lean Aliskerov, because I think he got to with all these paths he has, it's a wide freaking line, dude. It's a wide freaking line. What is Aliskerov's boost metric? I don't know. The under 1.5 seems like the biggest trap on the board this week to me. I don't know. It's a pick 'em. It should go under, but I mean, these guys have went over. I mean, Aliskerov just went over in his last fight, and we saw Ferreira go over against Vittori and Petrosian, and even Magomedov went over as well. So it just feels like a trap to me. But yeah, it could hit. It could hit. We got UFC Go in the building. What is up? What is up? 4 months from a bad KO. A guy with no deep. Yeah, he needed to take more time off. KO'd by Whitaker. Yeah, not a great look. Fight doesn't go minus 400, but fight ends by KO minus 155 seems cheap. Yeah. I mean, Brunno has a couple subs actually. I think
and
3 of his
Aliskerov.
Yeah, so a couple of these guys' fights have ended by subs, so that's probably why. How is Bruno Ferreira fighting? Has he even woke up yet? It was a pretty bad knockout. I didn't realize it was that long ago. It was this year?
This is 3 months ago, dude.
What were we? I don't remember that. Yeah, 3 months ago. What card was that on? I don't know.
Let's look. It was on the Holloway versus Oliveira. Easy to forget.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think I wanted to forget about that card after it ended.
I got absolutely rinsed on that card, but thank God I had Oliveira by decision for like a quarter unit at plus 1,200. It just saved me from absolutely having to go to the poorhouse, I think.
Yeah, I definitely got rinsed on that card. All right. Let us move on to the next fight. It is going to be Asu Amabayev going against Charles Johnson. We got Amabayev, 32 years old, 5'4", with a 65-inch reach. Charles Johnson, 35 years old, 5'9", with a 70-inch reach. Amabayev, 3 years younger. Johnson with a 5-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Amabayev is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Jose Johnson. Decision win against Mateus Nicolau. Knockout loss to Manel Kopp. Decision win against Jose Ochoa. And a submission win against Alex Perez. As far as Charles Johnson, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Suma Darji. Decision loss against Ramazan Timarov. A knockout win against Lonnie Kavanaugh. A knockout loss against Alex Perez. And then a decision win against Bruno Silva. So I'm going to do something I should have done a long time ago, Weezy. And that's, I'm not betting on Charles Johnson fights anymore. I mean, this guy makes no sense. I mean, this guy is the most inconsistent fighter in UFC history. Charles Johnson fights are not real. I mean, he goes out there, Weezy. He knocks out the champion and Josh Van. Yeah. This guy knocks out the champion and Josh Van. He knocks out potential future champion Lonnie Kavanaugh brutally. And then he goes out there and loses to Alex Perez. Not only loses Weezy, he goes out there and gets sparked by Alex Perez. He loses to Ode Osborne. He's losing to Cody Durden. I mean, on his best day, this guy is beating anybody in the division. But on his worst day, he's losing to Alex Perez and Ode Osborne. It's like Charles Johnson fights make no sense to me. I'm not betting on this guy's fights ever again. I'd rather lose my cock. I'd rather cut off my cock than bet on another Charles Johnson fight. I'm done with this guy. I'm picking Almabayev to win, and win by decision, but nothing makes sense with it. Charles Johnson probably knocks him out, Weezy, because Charles Johnson fights don't make sense. I'm staying away. Screw you, Charles Johnson, and screw your haircut as well.
Yeah, and I mean, you know me, I'm literally the worst Charles Johnson fight picker on the planet Earth. I've got a record that it would make the Chicago Cubs blush back in the day when they would usually take 2 weeks to win their first game. So, but I think I'm finally starting to heat up on the Charles Johnson. No, I don't. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, it's really fucking difficult, dude. You know what I mean? Like, even the Bruno Silva fight, I thought he lost to Bruno Silva.
He did. He did lose.
You know, I thought he lost that fight, man. You know, and then getting finished by Alex Perez was shocking. We'd never seen this guy get knocked out before. We'd never even seen him get finished before, and he gets finished by Alex Perez. One fight after knocking out Lonnie Kavanaugh. You know, so I'm wondering where Charles Johnson is right now, because with the loss to Perez, with the loss to Temerov, which was just a couple of fights ago, with what I thought was a loss to Bruno Silva, maybe we're seeing that durability start to become a lot less reliable. Maybe we're starting to see the age start to catch up with Charles Johnson here. The guy's got a lot of fights. He's been extremely active for a long time. But the second that you think that this guy's done and you want to start shoveling dirt on his grave, he's going to be like Michael Myers. The hand's just going to come out of the dirt, he's going to grab somebody by the neck, and he's just going to start killing people again because you didn't bury him fast enough, And you should have put cement shoes on him and dropped him in the lagoon. Let's see him get out of that, But no, they want to just like pack him under 6 inches of dirt, and he's gonna probably win a fight that nobody expects him to win. And I don't think a lot of people are expecting him to go to Azerbaijan and beat a Kazakh who's looked really good in the UFC, who just beat Alex Perez, who beat the brakes off of Charles Johnson. So just when you think you got the guy figured out, he proves that you don't have him figured out. So who knows, man? It's rough, and you're showing a lot more discipline than me, because even though I've openly admitted to not being able to pick a Charles Johnson fight to save my life numerous times on this show, on my channel, on other shows that I go on, Brady, I still bet on or against this prick and continue to get rinsed. So, but I think I got an angle for this fight, Brady.
I'm done with it.
I think we're going to cash on this fight. I'm thinking Almakhan by decision or Charles Johnson by knockout, right? I mean, we're going to do it this time, right? We're fucking cashing. Which one are we cashing on, though?
And then watch Osu like sub him, and then like anything can happen. At the Charles Johnson fight, he's going to find some way to screw it up. He screws up his haircut. He's going to screw up this fight too.
Yeah, the haircut looked even worse last time out than usual, and that's another concerning thing. Coming off the KO loss, a bad performance against Bruno Silva, consistently some of the worst haircuts in the entire organization, but some of the best wins in the history of the flyweight division. This guy beats Josh Van. He beats Lonnie Kavanaugh. Looks incredible against Suma Deraji. Got that great win against Azat Maksum after being put in a bad position in round 1. And then he, makes Cody Durden look like Jordan Burroughs out there. So I don't know, man.
I've lost so much money on Johnson fights, man. You're
the only one that's talking sense here, because you're the one. You just said, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'd rather self-harm. I'd rather put my own head in the oven. I mean, just.
I'm just done, man. It's stupid. It's just dumb.
And I'm sitting here being like, I like Johnson by KO, and he's like trying to tell me, Wheezy, don't just stop. Just stop. Like for our guy Forrest, you could see in the chat, he stopped doing alcohol, cocaine like 21 years ago. He made a good choice, and he's stuck with it. I mean, I lose every bet, and I just keep coming back to the window, And the person's just laughing at me. Another Charles Johnson bet, Wheezy? Sure. You want me to rip up the ticket for you now?
Yeah,
I'm like mush with this guy.
Everybody, to be fair,
it's already torn up.
Everybody's bad with this guy because he's just so inconsistent. So I don't know. I don't think there's anybody in the world that's good at picking Charles Johnson fights because you just don't know. It makes
most people are still better than me.
Yeah. McGregor just celebrated 2 hours off of cocaine. It must be a record.
They're going to give him a 2-hour chip. That's fantastic.
The over 2.5 is minus 231, and Charles Johnson would probably find a way to F that up too. But yeah, should go over, you would think.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Brother Brady said it best when he said he's done with Charles Johnson experience. It's a bad experience, and he's done with that horrible, it's a terrible haircut. We're just gonna make fun of his haircut for 15 minutes on the Fight Companion. It's gonna be fun. Oh god, yeah, Dr. P. I might hit Dr. Peener if I bet on a Charles Johnson fight again. Sprinkle a little bit on Charles as a big dog and call it a day. Oh gosh, betting on Charles Johnson.
Let's look at the betting splits, Brady. Yeah. 5-4 as a favorite with a negative 15% ROI. But as an underdog, Charles Johnson, 3 wins, 2 losses with a 99% ROI. So when you back this dude as an underdog, he finds ways to get you paid. But when you believe that he's going to win as a favorite, that's when he's going to let you down, man.
And he's let me down He's let me. I lost money on him against Alex Perez. He couldn't beat that Ramazan Temirov guy, who was juiced to the gills, but
Yeah,
still.
he's juiced to the tits. I mean, that's not his fault. That guy looked like, but he did call him. What did he call him? He called him a Timu. He called him a Timu something. Leprechaun. I don't know. Like Charles was talking some mad shit about that dude, and he went out there and lost him.
Really? Yeah, I had the under in the Silva fight that lost. I had Charles Johnson money line versus Perez that lost. I actually did hit the Charles Johnson finish only versus, or the plus 3.5 against Kavanaugh that hit. I had Charles Johnson money line against Temirov that lost. I had Charles Johnson inside the distance against Mudarji that should have hit if Mark Smith stopped the fight. And then I had like 2 units on Azat Maxim against Charles Johnson that did not hit. I mean, I've lost so much money on Charles Johnson that it's actually disgusting. So yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Dude, I actually bet on Charles Johnson against Lonnie Kavanaugh because I said that there was no way that he was going to win the fight. And so I cashed. I literally just was like, you know what? I'm betting on Charles Johnson because I think Lonnie Kavanaugh is going to win.
Yeah, there's a 0% for me. 0% chance I bet on this fight. 0% chance. I'm done. All right. This fight's going to be great, though. We got Nazim Sadikov going against Mateus Camilo. We got Sadikov, 32 years old, 5'10" with a 69-inch reach. Mateus Camilo, 25 years old, 5'10" with a 69-inch reach. Camilo, 7 years younger, same height, same reach. Sadikov is 3-1-1 draw on his last 5 fights. Had a submission win against Terrence McKinney, a draw against Slava Borshev, a knockout win against Ismail Bonfim, knockout win against Nicholas Mota, and then this is a mistake, right? Weezy knockout lost to Zion. He didn't.
Yeah, no, he did. He did. Because I had an over.
He got knocked out by Farah Zion?
Yeah, he did. He sure did. And you know who stopped the fight?
Who?
Jason Herzog.
Wait, so you're telling me that Farah Zion got a knockout win and Jason Herzog stopped the fight?
That's correct. And do you know when he stopped the fight?
It had been before the bell, right?
No, it was actually after the bell.
So you're telling me that Farah Zion finished Nazim Sadikov.
Yes.
Jason Herzog stopped the fight.
Yes.
After the round ended.
Yes. Yes on all 3. And guess who had an over 1.5 rounds there? You know, or over 2.5 or something. I don't know if it was maybe Zion by decision. I don't know. Whatever it was, I was just sit there with my jaw on the floor.
Yikes. Anyway, Camilo 4-1 his last 5 fights, made his debut against Gabe Green and quit in the second round and got subbed, and then he beat Slava Borshev by decision. Slava came in there with double knee sleeves. Looked awful. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. This is probably my favorite fight on the card, Weezy, and it's because it's a Nazim Sadikov fight. And we got to remember, Weezy, last time we saw Sadikov in Azerbaijan, he went out there and put on a phenomenal fight. One of my favorite fights of last year, actually, against Nicholas Mota, where he borderline got knocked out in round 1. The ref probably could have stopped that fight. Nobody would argue it was a bad stoppage. He was getting teed off on. And then he starts marching Mota down and says, "Come on, bitch. Is that all you got?" And just breaks him. And that's what Sadikov does, man. I mean, this is a guy who doesn't have the best striking defense. I'm starting to really worry about the chin, actually. I mean, getting knocked out by Zions, that's bad. He got basically knocked out by Mota. He got hurt by who else did he get hurt by? Oh, Elder dropped him as well. So he's been dropped 3 times in the UFC now. So I'm a little worried about the chin, but he's a tough dude. You got to kind of kill him to get him out of there. And he's just going to come forward. He's going to look to break you. He's going to look to take your soul. And that's what he did against Nicholas Mota. And he's going against Camilo, who I think is, dangerous. He can grapple a little bit, but I think his cardio kind of stinks. I think his heart kind of stinks. I think his durability kind of stinks. I think his grappling stinks. I think he kind of stinks, to be honest, Weezy. So yeah, the way I'm seeing this fight play out is I think Mateus Camilo might have some success early, landing some good shots, maybe hurt Sadikov, maybe take Sadikov down. But as this fight goes on, Sadikov's going to start to put that foot on the gas pedal, and he's going to break Mateus Camilo, who's very breakable. We saw him blatantly quit against Gabe Green. This guy got submitted by Dan Levy's weed guy back in the day. So yeah, for me, it's Sadikov inside the distance. I like the under 2.5. I think Sadikov's breaking this guy. Camilo's very breakable. So give me Sadikov to break him. I was thinking about maybe parlaying Sadikov, but I don't love the chin. I mean, I'm really worried about this guy getting knocked out by Zion. I mean, that's a jailable offense. So, but yeah, I think Sadikov wins here, though. What are your thoughts, Weezy?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Nazim. I love this guy's pressure. He just brings a ton of pressure and durability, and he trusts that chin of his, and he brings action-packed fights. Like, he's there to fight. He's not there to point fight. He's not there to take you down and sniff crotch. This guy is looking to break you, and so it's really fun to watch him. And Mateus Camilo, 3 losses as a professional, 3 finishes. All submissions. And we've seen Nazim Sadikov win a couple of fights by submission. In particular, the Terrence McKinney fight was a fight where Terrence kind of got slowed down and Nazim got his back and was able to finish him there. So I think that Sadikov by submission is a fairly good look this week, just because that's how Camilo has lost 100% of his fights. And Camilo will shoot some takedowns here. And I think that Nazim's got a little bit of an underrated grappling game, but you can't really count on Nazim to go out there and wrestle, because that's just not what he's looking to do. He wants to break you, and he doesn't want to break you with wrestling and top time. He wants to break you with his fists, and he's very willing to take a shot to give one. And he's got terrible, tragic distance striking defense, Brady. 48.5%. Is about as bad as it gets. And this young man is absorbing 8.29 distance strikes per minute. So Mateus Camilo, who has 4 wins by knockout as a professional, that's his best record as a professional, is to the knockout and to the decision. He's going to want to try to keep this fight standing, maybe get the occasional takedown, but I don't think he wants to slow down against this guy, because if he can land heavy leg kicks and be a little bit more defensively sound than Nazim, he might be able to win the minutes on the feet here. That's in play, because Nazim is just, I mean, he's pretty one-dimensional. He's extremely aggressive, and he's easy to hit. So, I mean, like, if you want to try to point fight with this guy and just look to avoid the big shot, you can do what Slava Borshev did and just easily win minutes against this guy at distance striking range. And we saw Terrence McKinney be able to take him down and kind of rinse him on the mat. We even saw Ismail Bonfim kind of win some minutes against him early in that first round before he quit at the end of the first round. So, yeah, I mean, Sadikov is hittable. Sadikov is defensively irresponsible on the feet, and he's not a big offensive grappler. So I think that there are ways that Camilo can win this fight, but I got to lean with Sadikov in Azerbaijan. I mean, I don't even think Camilo is as dangerous as Nick Mota is. So I'm going to pick Sadikov, and if I were to bet him, I'd bet him to win inside the distance, because this dude's a finisher.
Yeah, and you got to take the ITD, not the KO, because he could sub him too, like you said. So
yes.
Yeah, I don't mind that ITD plus money. I don't mind that. I think he's going to break this dude. I mean, this guy got subbed by Dan Levy's weed dealer, for God's sake. I mean,
Yep. Shout out Eric Mercado. Beautiful head of hair on that kid.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Peener's services may be needed for this card, potentially, man. I'm not going heavy on this card. Me and Weezy talked about it before the show started. I mean, I don't know about you, Weezy. I always do horrible on cards in the Middle East. I don't know what it is, but there's always some shenanigans. Like, I remember one of these cards years ago, the air conditioning was out. Everybody was gassing out. The locker room was just painted. Like, people
that was in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's like people are climbing hotels and put potatoes in the hotel room. Like, there's always some shenanigans in these Middle East cards, Weezy. Something's always going on. So, so I'm keeping it light. I'm keeping it short, sweet, trying to have no more than 7 units on the board this week. We got Keel with the $9.99. Appreciate you saying 150 likes, and Weezy puts 1 unit on Charles Johnson at decision.
Oh my God, where is that line at? Because I was actually saying I like Almakhan by decision, which probably means that Charles Johnson wins a decision.
Dude, listen to this. Charles Johnson money line plus 210. Charles
Okay.
Johnson decision plus 225. They're giving him 0 knockout equity or sub equity.
Oh my God, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because check this out, right? At that particular line, 30.7% is decision, 32.2% is so they're saying that he only has a 1.5% chance to win by submission or knockout, right?
Yeah.
But those props are priced at 12.5% and 4.75%. So actually, when you add the decision, sub, and KO props, which are the only 3 ways that he can win, you get a number of 48% when Charles Johnson's money line is only 32%.
Oh my God.
That's how much juice are in these props. And I mean, Charles Johnson decision at plus 225 is the shittiest line that I have seen this week. With his money line at plus 210, that is criminal, knowing that this guy had almost knocked out Sumaderji. He did knock out Lonnie Kavanaugh. He did knock out Josh Van. This guy's got power, Brady.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, don't bet the decision. If you bet Charles Johnson, just bet the money line.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. That's
That
ridiculous.
decision prop is the worst price I've ever seen.
So 150
We're
likes.
We're gonna need a Big Steve sign up. We're gonna need an underdog sign up, and we're gonna need you guys to buy cards over at Home of Fight like you read about in order for me to get anywhere near that. They're gonna need to do better than 150 likes. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, appreciate you, Kill, for the dono. 150 likes. I don't know if that sounds like a lot of pain and I just can't imagine. Can't imagine betting on Charles Johnson's fights anymore. How can you fade the guy that KO'd Josh Van? How can you back the guy that lost to Cody Durden 32-7?
Both beautiful questions.
911, what's your emergency? I'm about to bet on Charles Johnson. Help me.
And they'll be like, Wheezy, stop calling us. That's what.
Oh, this donkey's going to get milked. I think he's going to get milked. I mean, he got milked badly against Gabe Green. Under 2.5 is a lock. Don't say that, but I do like the under 2.5. I think it's going to be a war. These lines are whack. It's whack, man. Never tell me the odds. Oh, God. Props used to be good back in the day. Back in the day, you can get some good numbers back in the day. Those are the good days. It's the good days. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It's going to be the co-main event. Before we get into it, if you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button. Smash it up. We're at 90 likes. Okay, 90 likes. It's definitely an improvement from last week. We didn't even hit 100. We didn't even hit 100 likes, Weezy. That's why I'm thinking we might go back to Sunday because you can't even get 100 likes.
That was a hangover week. Nobody was watching. Nobody cared.
I know.
The White House just took it out of everybody.
I know. It was a weird week. Like nobody gave a crap about the card. Everybody was talking about Justin's gloves. And even this week, still people are talking about Justin's gloves. And I saw an interview. It wasn't an interview, it was a podcast with Joe Rogan and Justin Gaethje. And Gaethje on the podcast said that his gloves were different. He was like, "Yeah, my gloves were different. Like the padding on the gloves were different." What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Justin?
Say that because the way
I know exactly
his face got busted up in round 1, I was like, "There's something wrong here."
And I know, and Justin said that today. I agree. I was like, "Why are you saying that?"
You're just fueling the fire that the fight. You might have. Oh God, that's wild.
I couldn't believe it. He was like, "Yeah, the gloves were different. The padding was different, and even I couldn't believe he said that." So, Glovegate, the Glovegate, Wheezy.
Oh boy,
something's up, man. I don't know. That was weird that Justin himself said that. Weird, but anyway. Let's get into the co-main event. We got Shara Magomedov going against Michal Ferreira. We got Shara 32'6'2" with a 73-inch reach. We got Ferreira 32, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. Same age here. We got Shara 1-inch height advantage and got the same reach. Shara is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Antonio Tricoli. Decision win against Michal Oleksiejczuk. Knockout win against Armin Petrosyan. Decision loss against Michael Page. And then decision win against Marc-Andre Barriault. As far as Michal Ferreira, he is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Submission win against Ihor Peteria. Knockout loss to Anthony Hernandez. Decision loss to Abus Magomedov. Knockout loss to Kyle Daukaus. A decision win against Zachary Reyes. So, yeah, I mean, I can't pick Michal Pereira to win this fight. I mean, Michal's looks so bad that it looks like he's like betting against himself. Like that Abus Magomedov fight was one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my entire life. He came out there with that awful dance routine, Wheezy, and then he did 15 minutes of dick and lost to Abus Magomedov. He went out there against Kyle Daukaus. I remember that fight very clearly because I remember waking up early, Wheezy. You're probably still sleeping at the time, but I woke up early. I was excited. Like, yeah, I like Michal Pereira to beat Kyle Daukaus. Are you kidding? He's gonna knock out Kyle Daukaus here, right? Kyle Daukaus knocks him out in a minute. I'm like, really, Michal? Really, Michal? And then I check his Instagram, and this guy's out there on a yacht. Like, how am I not supposed to think this guy's betting on his opponents? Like, it clearly looked like he threw the fight against Abus. It clearly looked like he threw the fight against Daukaus. Like, how are you getting knocked out by the Darce Knight in 40 seconds? And then he goes out there, and I thought he lost to Zach Reyes. You give him the first round because he hurt Reyes. But in round 2 and in rounds 3, I thought Zach Reyes outworked him. This guy could be on a 4-fight losing streak, potentially, if they gave Zach Reyes that decision. Michal Pereira looks done to me. He looks washed. He looks awful. He looks terrible. He looks like he's throwing the fights. And me and you both have a bet in this fight, and it's terrifying because I like the bet. I like the number. But this guy, Michal, can go out there and maybe him and his buddies bet the sub for Shara. I mean, imagine that. Imagine how much stake in yachts Michal will get with a sub bet for Shara Magomedov, who can't even spell sub. Michal might go out there and take a dive. Michal might go out there and actually try for the first time in his last 5 fights, Wheezy. Michal Pereira might actually grapple here and fight smart. I don't know what to think here about Michal Pereira, but what I do know is he looks done to me. I think Shara wins. I was kind of surprised that the line isn't wider, but at the same time, I kind of just think Shara's mid, to be honest. I think he's a mid fighter. I think he's going to get mid results in the UFC, but I think he's, mid enough to beat a washed Pereira. What do you think about this fight, Wheezy?
Yeah, this one is weird because like Pereira looks like he's completely done. The Zach Reyes fight didn't really do anything to stop us from thinking that he might be on a 4-fight losing streak if that decision didn't go his way. And with Shara, he hasn't been particularly active as of late. He hasn't fought since July of 2025. So here he is on like a 1-year layoff. Coming into that fight against Barrio, he was talking about how he had to take a few months off because of intestinal issues. So he might be weak to the gut here. That's a possibility. And he hasn't been particularly active. He's been acting as well. So who knows what the hell Shara is up to? I mean, like you said, he's a one-dimensional striker. He doesn't really have power. He took him, 2.5 rounds to finish Trocoli?
And Trocoli took that fight on like 2 days' notice, I think.
Yeah. And flew like halfway across the world. And he still went into the 3rd round with him. And then there was that fluke double spinning back fist against Petrosian. But, he couldn't even get Barrio out of there, whose chin is cooked in his last fight. And like after seeing Pereira fight Abus Magomedov, you were wrong about that, Brady, because that wasn't one of the worst performances ever. It was 2 of the worst performances ever. The pre-fight dance, which was just as disgusting as what happened in the cage. So it was 2 of the worst performances ever in only one fight by one fighter. Yeah, I mean, like Michal Pereira, and I bet on this fight.
Same.
I bet on I know, and I feel sick about it, but you know what? It's still a very, very good bet because I don't think Michal Pereira is finishing anybody right now, and Shara's got a cannonball for a head. You're not knocking that dude out. So I don't really see any finish upside for Pereira. And if Pereira fights like he did in the Abus fight, these guys are going to play touch butt for 15 minutes, and then the judges are going to give the decision to Shara because he's in, Central Asia, Middle East, whatever you want to call Azerbaijan, where he's going to be the A side in this fight. So I think it's Shara by decision, but the difference between Shara by decision and the fight goes to decision was small enough that I just played fight goes.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone about it. We were like, we both like it, and then it moved, and then we both had to jump on it. So yeah, fight goes to decision. I like it, but I'm worried that there's gonna be some shenanigans here. Is the only problem, but it makes sense. It makes a ton of sense. I don't think Chara is some murderous power puncher. He's literally not. He's mostly kicks, to be honest.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do a ton with this. And I know he had that spinning back fist, but that's like a once in a lifetime type land there. Michal is super tough. I don't know what happened in the Dawkins fight. I'm going to say he threw the fight. I'm going to say he threw it because it makes no sense. But yeah, I think decision for Chara makes sense to me. Maybe a late finish if Michal gasses out. But yeah, I think it's like a round 3 decision could also be good for Chara. But yeah, I like the fight goes as well.
Yeah.
Here is my question, and it's a great question here. How will Michal Pereira bet against himself in this fight? KO, decision, or does he go for the plus 3,500 on the... That's the thing, Weezy. This dude's getting subbed this week, isn't he? Pereira's going to get subbed by Chara.
Dude, nothing would surprise me, Like, I think he even threw the dance routine.
Yeah, he did.
There was probably some kind of a prop that we didn't know about. Like, will Michal Pereira show no, life during his pre-fight dance routine? It might have been plus 2,000, and people might have cashed on it.
Yeah, and he's been over with Eric Nixick at Extreme Couture for these last couple of fights. It's been some sketchy results, just saying,
Yeah.
Just saying. Braden Uncle Weezy, who's the better pirate, Captain Morgan, Captain Crunch, Captain Hook, or Shar Magomedov? What do you think?
Captain Crunch. I thought he was the best dressed out of all of them.
Okay.
That's not funny.
No,
that's not funny. No, he's like the epaulettes, like a really, like you watch, like Michael Jackson used to walk around looking like Captain Crunch all the time. And Michael Jackson had a lot of style, He had a lot of flair.
Yeah, that's true. A Johnson Pereira parlay for 200 likes. No, dude, I don't think there's an amount of likes that you could do that. That's bad, man.
I'd probably get my account pulled over at Bet Online. They'd be like, this dude's got dementia or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay away from this one. Yeah, I'm on like the fight goes. I like the number. I like the number. I got my guy in Baku checking for, was that
Caspian Sea yacht reservations?
There you go. I'll keep you guys. Yeah, we know Pereira's on a yacht, man. Michal here to grab one last steak dinner, then sail away. At least no matter what happens with this fight, Weezy, at least is going to make for some good comedy because, whatever. Pereira's going to do something stupid. Whether it's a dance routine, whether it's something, he's going to do something. Big Michal Pereira fan, but I think he's on the no bet. Yeah, he's definitely on the no bet list for sure. For sure. Chara is a 1D fraud. I think he's kind of a fraud too, but he's going against a washed fighter. I hate this fight, to be honest. Yeah, me too, to be honest. I'm hoping this fight sucks and it's a sweat-free fight goes, but I do think there's going to be some sweat involved. Pereira is going to fake getting hurt and then turn around and give his neck to Chara. Oh, no.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, no. Charles Johnson plus Michal Pereira. Masochist?
Masochist.
What's that?
It means somebody that enjoys being in pain.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you enjoy being in pain, you might want to bet on Michal Pereira and Charles Johnson here.
That just sounds awful. Sounds horrible. Yeah, big ups. Stand up, Captain Crunch. Stand up. Stand up. Stand the hell up. All right, main event time. We have Rafael Fiziev going against Manuel El Loco Torres. We got Fiziev, 33 years old, 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. Manuel El Loco Torres, 31 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. We got Torres 2 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage. Fiziev is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Gaethje. Knockout loss to Gamrot, got hurt there. Decision loss to Gaethje again. Decision win against Ignacio Bahamondes, and then a knockout loss against Mauricio Hufi. As far as Torres, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout against Nicholas Mota. Submission win against Chris Duncan. Knockout loss to Ignacio Bahamondes. Knockout win against Drew Dober. And then a knockout win against Grant Dawson. I'm looking forward to this fight. So a couple months ago, it was supposed to be Manuel Torres versus Beneil Dariush. Remember that fight got booked a couple months ago, and I guess Torres had to pull out. but I couldn't believe they made. Could you imagine what Torres would have done to Beneil Dariush? I think this is a more appropriate matchup for sure, and it's a great test for Manuel Torres. And Weezy, this guy's loco. I mean, this guy is loco, man. 20 fights for Manuel Torres. 19 of them have not only finished, 19 of them have finished in the very first round of the fight. Something that's just unheard of. He has been to decision once. The one fight that did leave the first round went to decision, but 19 fights have ended in the first round. And if you have not seen him, I mean, if you see him fight, you can kind of tell why. I mean, this guy is killer be killed, all offense, no defense. That Bahamondes fight was very bad. You know, that was a fight where he kind of pulled a Marcin Prachnio versus Sam Alvey, where he got dropped, he got back up, and just kind of ran face forward and got dropped again and knocked out. As a very bad look. But this guy has a ton of power for the division. And he's going against Fiziev, who, on paper, Fiziev's fought the much better competition. Fiziev is probably he's the much better fighter, quite frankly. Fiziev's a very good technical striker, but I think Fiziev's past his prime. He's dealt with a ton of injuries these last several years. He's taken a ton of damage these last several years, and he just doesn't look the same to me anymore. So, if this fight was a couple of years ago, I think Fiziev would be a massive favorite, to be honest, but I think Torres is kind of getting Fiziev at the right time. With that said, if this fight extends, you've got to favor Fiziev. The one time we did see Torres outside of the first, he gassed out. That was a while ago, though. I don't know. It's a tough fight to call. I think it's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em for a reason. You can make very strong arguments for both sides, right? With Fiziev, there's some strong arguments for him. But with Torres, the argument for Torres is this guy's going to go out there and knock out Fiziev in the first round. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I think no matter whose side you're on here, you can make a very good argument for them. You know, if you're on the Fiziev side, you just say, well, as long as he lasts through round one, we have no idea what Torres looks like in round two. And Fiziev's been deep into fights. He knows how to win minutes late. You know, the guy's a very defensively sound striker too. So he's got everything you need with his striking skill set to win minutes later in fights. But, you know, if you're saying Torres, you're saying, yeah, Fiziev, first of all, he was never that good to begin with. You're talking about a minute-winning striker with no offensive grappling, with no power. So what's Fiziev's win condition? Pretty narrow-based decision, right? And that's really all we've seen him do at this level. And then you got Torres, who's extremely front-loaded, and we don't know what he looks like after round one. You know, his conditioning might even be good.
I don't know. The one time he did get extended in the Camacho fight, it was even the first round. He was tired, like a couple minutes into the first round. But that Camacho fight was probably like four years ago at this point.
Yeah, it was his debut, right?
Yeah, it was his. I think it was, but he looked tired in the first round. So, but I think he's probably improved since then. I mean, you would
probably, think. You know, and I think he fought a really great fight against Grant Dawson. He just said, "Come to me. You come to me." You know, I'm not gonna overextend on anything and give you an easy takedown. And he just waited, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Torres is showing that he can be patient, which is something that we didn't even know that he could be. Because I thought that we would see that really reckless Torres, and I thought if we saw that version of Torres, it would be easy for Grant to find, you know, some kind of a dominant position in the grappling. But he didn't give him that opportunity. And, you know, Fiziev's a really good striker. But is he a better striker than Drew Dober? Is he a more dangerous striker than Nick Moda or Chris Duncan? I mean, these are guys that Torres has already beat. So I think, like I say, you can make really good arguments for both sides, which makes sense at the lines at a pick'em here. I don't know what I want to do here. I don't know how Torres looks in round two, and I don't know if Fiziev is washed or not, but I don't really care because, you know, Brady, I've never been a fan of this guy anyway. I never thought he was that good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
I mean, if he had power, it would be one thing. If the guy was a threat to knock somebody out, I think that would be a lot different, but I'm worried about this guy's chin. He doesn't throw a ton of volume. And he doesn't have any grappling upside.
Yeah, the chin worries me for sure. I mean, that KO loss was bad against Sufi, and that was this year.
Yes,
right?
It was.
Yeah,
but he's going to decision with Justin Gaethje. like hammer hands Gaethje, who had broken Topuria's face in like three minutes in their fight, wasn't able to get Fiziev out of there. Although I think he did drop him once or twice in both in the two fights total.
He definitely dropped him. Yeah, but he did take a lot of damage in both those fights, though, and that damage, I think, is starting to add up a little bit. Like, he's only 33. He doesn't look 33. To me, he looks older. So
yeah. I mean, we remember him being knocked out in his debut against Magomed Mustafayev.
Who's very handsome, by the way.
Very handsome. Great haircut, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one I'm not touching from a money line standpoint. I like the under here because it's a Manuel Torres fight. 19 for 20. I like the under at plus money there. But, yeah, I mean, if it gets extended and goes over 1.5, I think it's going to heavily favor Fiziev, you got to imagine. So, Torres KO1 could also be interesting. It's probably horrible, though. Plus 200. Oh, gosh. Because he could be like a club and sub, too. He subbed Chris Duncan.
Yeah.
Maybe just round one, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm leaning Torres. But, yeah, there's a lot of paths here for Fiziev, and there's a lot of arguments for him. Should be a fun fight.
Yeah, and, Manuel Torres, 20 professional fights, Brady. The average fight time, 2.5 minutes.
Oh,
so you would have to say that the under 1.5 has got to be the side. Now, of course, there's other, the counter argument to that is it's Torres's first 5-round fight. He might start slow on purpose just because he doesn't want to get tired early. There might be some clinching, those kind of things you have to worry about, but it's still a Manuel Torres fight at the end of the day. And if he doesn't have great conditioning anyway, what would be the point of starting slow? It's not like you're going to wear him down, so you might as well just fight like you're double parked like you always do. And having a 2.5 minute average fight time over a 20 fight sample size, probably not something you want to be betting overs on very confidently.
Especially like at a minus number, like at a plus money number maybe, but it's a minus number, so yeah, and then I'd rather take the under than the Manuel Torres money line, which is at a pick'em as well. Because I mean, Fiziev could knock out. Fiziev knocked out Moicano, Riddell, and Torres. Just the way he walked into Bahamondes' punches, like Fiziev could potentially knock him out too. So I like the under rather than a side here. Connor to me reminds me of Christian Bale from the Fighter Now. Oh. We are on a hot streak with the milkings and pipings. Let's keep it going. Yeah, I agree. We got Mills in here. What is up, Mills? Good to see you. Did you interview any fighters this week, Mills? Let me know. I'll check it out. Fiziev is washed. I'm taking Torres by KO. I think he's kind of washed, which is weird to say. He's only 33, but in fight years, he's probably 50 now. Fiziev was just a pick him against Hoofy. Was he really a pick him against Hoofy?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, Hoofy -1, or he was -125, and Hoofy was -105.
That's crazy.
Oh, his last 4 losses are all as a favorite. The market loves Fiziev, and they just shouldn't.
Jeez. Torres subbing Manuel was the only reason I nuked Moicano's sub against Chris Duncan. Yeah. Couldn't be any worse. Torres never leaving the first round is insane. It's just something you don't see. I mean, this guy's loco, man. This guy's loco. Hopefully Fiziev isn't fully washed yet. I don't think he's fully washed. But Frank the Tank, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or is it the Crank? It's Frank
the Crank is Frank Camacho. Frank the Crank.
We got to get Camacho back in there.
I don't know, man. I think Camacho's time is done, dude. I think he's been knocked out enough, Brady.
Boy, unfortunately. Because he went to decision twice with Gaethje. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Wasn't Islam Dulatov supposed to fight on this card? I don't know. Is Islam Dulatov ever going to fight again? Like, what's he doing?
I don't think he's got. I mean, like, when you're a model making millions of dollars, not to get punched in the face and drive around in $500,000 cars and be wrist deep in some of the hottest women in the world. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in a hurry to get back to the UFC octagon.
It's fair. Azerbaijan is not in the Middle East. I'm horrible with geography. Where's it at then?
Well, Iran is in the Middle East, and Azerbaijan shares a border with Iran, so maybe it's not technically in the Middle East, but it's right there. It's Central Asia, the Middle East, the Adriatic. We're splitting hairs here.
So it's the Middle East.
Well, maybe not technically.
So we're getting technical live though. Don't get
maybe. Yeah, it's not a geography show,
Yeah, it's not a history class here. Let's not get technical, okay? Yeah. Come on, man. Show some respect. Under 1.5 at plus 112 and Torres is minus 109 is something. Yeah, I mean, I'd take the under for a little bit of a better price.
Yep.
His round one number versus Dawson was a disgusting number. I actually wasn't, believe it or not. I bet the Torres in under a half a round. I got it like plus 800, and it cashed by like 10 seconds. But that was a huge hit, and I was there for that fight live. I feel like if he wins, it has to be early. That's what you would think. Algeria, stand up. Wrist deep in the hottest men. He likes men? I didn't know that.
I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. No, we don't judge. Even if he loses, it's likely early. He made Bahamondes look like Ngannou. Yeah, I was pissed. I had Bahamondes 2-3, and this dude's walking out there face first and getting knocked out. If Torres and T-Rex win their fights, they should match up. What do you think the under 1.5 would be? Minus 800 would be value. They should make that fight. That would be the most violent fight in UFC history. Terrence McKinney, Manuel Torres. The under half a round would be a minus number. That would be incredible.
That would be awesome.
Show some respect, man. Central Asia, stand up. Stand up. All right, we got a couple things to do before we head out of here. First, we're going to see who needs to get help. All right, it's not really that close. Wheezy, believe it or not, and we had a ton of votes. We had almost 200 votes.
All right.
I forgot to do it at the beginning of the show, which is fine. In fourth place with 6%, Carol Hosa.
Wow. Maybe people didn't see the haircut.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just started throwing up violently and didn't get to see it long enough for them to understand that she needs help.
That's bad. That's only 6%. In third place, believe it or not, is somebody that showed up to the fight drunk.
Melissa Mullins?
With the fight, yeah, with the bloody nose.
She had a bloody nose on the walkouts.
I know. She's only 18% for Melissa Mullins, Wheezy.
She had Bia Mosquito knocked out and then went to the ground with her and gave up her arm like she was Oleksiejczuk fighting Kevin Holland.
And then she was crying about it after the decision was getting read.
Yeah, she was, and so were the Melissa Mullins bettors.
Were there any? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know any. I don't know any.
Anyway, we got in second place Michael Aswell, 21%, who blew it as like a minus 500. And then first place by far and away, a guy that walked out with his black belt and refused to even try to grapple, Andrey Lima at 55%. Andrey Lima, get some help. Get some help, buddy. He lost to Kevin Borjas.
I mean, and he came out with the black belt, which was kind of hilarious. But then he needs some work. He should have had Burgess Meredith from Rocky be his trainer and put the chicken in the octagon and be like, chase that chicken around until you catch him, because that would have been great. That would have been great training for what the black cock did. The black rooster went in there and ran away. He ran away going, caw, caw, and he just ran the whole time. I don't think Andrey Lima needs help. I think Kevin Borjas needs help. I think Kevin Borjas needs to be cut. I thought that performance by Borjas, even though he won, was the most weaselly performance. And Brady, I'm calling it the most weaselly performance on a card where we had Mitch Ratoso on it, who also won via weaselly performance. Two of the most weaselly performances in the UFC this year were both on the same card, and it was UFC Vegas 119. Yeah, and misses weight at 129. As well. And Lima needs help?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Melissa Mullins yelled to her corner, "Why didn't you tell me she knew jiu-jitsu?"
Wait, you're joking about that, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay. It's funny I have to even question it. That's how bad. That's how dumb Melissa Mullins is.
There's gonna be people who cut it off before the end of the show, and they're gonna be like, "I heard Wheezy say that Melissa didn't even know she knew jiu-jitsu."
Oh gosh, jeez. Yeah, that was probably the biggest Weasley performance of all time. He missed weight by 5 pounds.
Yeah,
He got kicked in the dick. He took the full 5 minutes.
yeah,
Got a nice 5-minute break, and then he ran for his life for 50 minutes. It was a horrible look. So yeah,
against one of the most prolific cheaters in the UFC, and Andrey Lima. So I mean, that one will go down in the record books, I think, Brady.
it will be. Hey, we got 100 likes. Thank you guys, but
Yes,
it's not 120. Hey, we can still get 120 because we still got 10 minutes left of the show. What we got to do now is we got to come up with the piping and the milking. You guys have been killing it lately. What we're going to do is Wheezy's going to pick 2 options. I'm going to pick 2 options, and then we're going to let you guys vote to say who is going to get piped and milked on site. So, Wheezy, you want to do the piping or the milking first?
we usually do the piping first, right?
Yeah, we can do the piping. So, who's going to pipe their opponent on site? Who is your first option?
All right, first option I think is a really good one. Why not Loco Torres? I mean, that's what this guy does for a living, is he pipes people on site. So I think that is a possibility for this fight.
Manuel El Loco. He's loco, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's loco. All right, I like it. I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Javier Reyes. I'm going to go Javier Reyes to pipe Kaan Ofli on site.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too. And then obviously, I think a really obvious one would be Daniil Donchenko to pipe Theodor Berggren on site.
And then I will go with Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev to pipe Julius Juicebox Walker on site. So those are the 4 options, guys. Be sure to vote. If you guys are sleeping, wake the hell up. It's time to vote. We got to get these votes in. We got to find out who's going to pipe their opponent on site here. Yeah, there was a lot of Weasel action over the weekend, and there's going to be some Weasel action in the Andrey Pulyaev fight for sure. For sure. Hey, we got Dan from Half the Battle. It's 1:11 a.m., and I'm here listening to my brother and uncle. Smash a like. Appreciate that, Dan. We gave you a couple shout-outs. Who was it? Was it the Camilo got subbed by Dan's weed guy, right? Yeah.
Eric Mercado. Dan's weed guy. He's got to win over somebody on this card. So yeah,
Can't wait to watch Dan show this week. He always brings it up. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. All right. So make sure you guys vote, and then while you guys are voting for the piping, we are going to try to come up with 4 options for a milking. So what do you think, Weezy, for a milking?
I think a good one for starters would be Asu Almakhan, because that's what he does to milk Charles Johnson, who we've seen get out wrestled by Cody Durden, Muhammad Mokaev. We've seen him struggle with the offensive wrestling sometimes. So I think that's a decent milking option for this week.
I agree. Milking. There's not maybe Sadikov, man. I mean, this guy Camilo got subbed by Sadikov to milk Mateus Camilo, make him quit.
Yeah, I think that's a decent option, and I think another good option would be Ikram Aliskerov, because I don't think he wants to stand with Bruno Ferreira, man. Like, Bruno Ferreira is not Phil Hawes, he's not Andre Muniz, he's not Antonio Troccoli. I don't think he wants to stand with this guy. So, like, I think that that could be a good look.
Yep. I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of milkings this week. I guess no. I don't know, dude. Should we just go with those 3? Unless you see another one.
The other one I thought would be Farman Hasanov, because he's a wrestler.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
Nolan is kind of easy to take down, but that's a greasy fight. So
It's greasy. It's greasy.
yeah,
We can put it. We can put it because I agree. Because this guy can milk. So,
yeah.
all right. So we got Almakhan, Sadikov, Aliskerov, and Hasanov. The milking is a little tricky this week, but let's see what you guys got for the piping. Here we go. All right. The results are in. In last place with 7%, Javier Reyes. In third place with 15%, Daniil Donchenko. In second place with 15%, a guy that's loco, Manuel Loco Torres. And then first place at 63%, Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev, 63% to pipe Julius. Do they call him Juice Box?
Yes, the juice box. Yes, sir.
All right, so Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev to pipe Julius Juice Box Walker on site. All right, you guys have been killing it. Let's see if you can keep going. Piping of the week is Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev to pipe Julius Juice Box Walker on site. And then while I pull up or put up the poll for the Milking Wheezy, let's talk some underdog if possible. Did you see if they had anything out yet? I haven't checked it today.
So yeah, you know what? I think it just came out in like the last hour or so, because when we logged on here, I was looking at underdog and nothing came up, but now I've got everything up here. They got fight time for most of these fights. They got significant strikes, finishes. So underdog's definitely on point, like they always are, dude. Monday having all the props out, when most of the big books don't even get like basic KO props out until Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some of them, underdogs usually got them out on Monday.
Exactly. That's why people should be signing up, and not only signing up, but using that code DFSBTN and getting $50 free.
Absolutely. Best way to support the show.
Absolutely. So, okay, this poll's up now, and then there you go. So everybody vote. Wake the hell up. Get your votes in, for the love of God. Oh, we got a dono here. We got a dono from Sandberg saying it just clocked out, about to smoke a fatty and rewatch. Just wanted to say I appreciate all dudes. We appreciate you, Sandberg. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. It was a fun show tonight. We appreciate the dono 100%. Berg knows what's up. He knows what's up. All right. So, yeah, guys, go ahead and vote on the milking there, and then let's pull up some underdog here. Anything sticking out initially, Wheezy?
The first thing that jumped out to me is just a weird number, in my opinion. Manuel Torres, significant strike total is sitting at 42.5.
Holy crap, that's
high. He's never sniffed anywhere near that number.
That's high. If he lands 42, Fizie's gonna be unconscious.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like, I think that's a really high number for Manny Torres. Now, it's a 5-round fight, so if it does get extended, you know, he might wind up landing 120, and it could look like the worst fight ever. But like these guys, Torres isn't going to go out there and pitter-pat with this guy. He's going to look to take his head off with everything that he throws, and in the meantime, he's probably going to get touched up a lot. So, yeah, I think Torres lower, 42.5 significant strikes.
I like that. There's a lot of stuff I like on the fight time, man. I really like the Shara higher than 7.5 minutes.
Wait, where was that? I didn't even see. I was looking for that, actually.
Is it not on yours?
I don't see. There. Oh, yeah.
You have it?
I can see it. I missed it the first time.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Like a lot. And then even Almakhan higher than 12.5 minutes too. I like that. So, but yeah, my favorite would be the Shara higher than 7.5 minutes for sure.
Agreed, man. Yeah, I'm going to put in a little 2-legger right now. I'm going to do the Shara higher than 7.5 minutes. And then I'm going to do the, for significant strikes, Loco Torres lower than 42.5.
I love it. I love it. And looks like they do have a 30% boost there on Underdog as well.
Let's go.
Here we go. Heck yeah. Shout out to Underdog. Daniel voted Donchenko. Nothing wrong with being different, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you saying. All right. So let's see who's going to get milked. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Fourth place, Farman Hasanov at 9%. Third place, Ikram Aliskerov, 14%. Second place, also Omabayev at 32%. And then Wheezy first place. The milking of the week is Nazim Sadikov to milk Mateus Camillo.
Nazim Sadikov got number one. Well, he's the hometown Azerbaijani fighter. He put on an absolute show last time out in that Nick Moda fight, which was one of the best fights of 2025. So let's go, Nazim. He's probably the biggest. I think he's a bigger star in Azerbaijan than Fiziev is, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
I mean, that last fight he put on last year was one of my favorite fights of the year, that Moda fight. I think this fight's going to be just as exciting. He's going to walk forward. He's going to break this guy. He's going to make him quit. And we're going to cash this milking this week. There we go. Nazim Sadikov to milk Mateus Camillo. And there we go. We did it. 3 hours down. Now all that's left, I'm going to pass it to my Uncle Wheezy. Uncle Wheezy, let people know where they can find you and how they can support you.
You can find me on X at MMA Wheezy. You can find me on YouTube and Rumble at Uncle Wheezy. And you can find me on oddsshopper.com, where I have my probability stats and content package with these profile matchups that you see on the screen, the stats matchups, the individual fighter stats, my over-under betting model, my prop betting model, my fight write-ups, access to my Discord, access to all my track bets, access to the 4 hours of content that is subscriber only, that's behind the paywall every week. If you are a serious MMA gambler with a bit of a do-it-yourself type of attitude, having access to all of the stats, analytics, write-ups, and amazing visual presentations that I put together is going to help you make more educated, long-term betting decisions that'll help you do a lot more plus EV bets. So check me out on oddshopper.com. That's the best way to support me personally. But if you want to support the show, look into that Underdog account with code DFSBTN. Look into our guy, Big Steve, with that amazing MMA Discord that he's running. And big shout out to the new affiliate, Home of Fight, hooking us up with a Robert Whitaker signed card. That was awesome, man. So I can't wait to do that every week. So thank you all for supporting the show, for watching. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Leave us a comment down below and let us know whether you want us to go live on Sundays or Mondays going forward. And let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks for this UFC Baku Azerbaijan card, Brady.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, shout out to all the sponsors. Like you said, homofightcars.com. I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be a fun segment every week.
Yeah.
Today was fun. That reaction I had to Macy Chiez on. Hopefully nobody clips that and sends that to her. Underdog, of course. Big Steve. Big ups to Big Steve's been killing it. Hopefully Big Steve keeps killing it. Go check him out in his Discord. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Smash a like on your way out. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know if you guys want Sunday or Monday, and then we'll go from there. And yeah, I guess best of luck for UFC Baku, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.